San Antonio sports. Think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com. San Antonio Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs and General Manager Brian Wright continue to round out the Spurs roster. Last night, a big trade with the Washington Wizards, bringing in big man Kelly Olynyk. The Wizards received Malachi Branham and Blake Wesley. Also a 2026 second-round pick. The Spurs rounded out the California Summer League with a loss to the Los Angeles Lakers. Losing on a 15-5 run, the Spurs head to Las Vegas. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hump day.
What? What's that?
Hump day.
Oh, yeah, baby. Good morning, everybody. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on a, what day is it, Vic?
Hump day.
Oh, yeah.
That's just for them. We're past it. We're
for
well
normies.
past that, man.
For normies, it
for
is.
For a moment, I went, yeah, wait a minute. I'm well beyond hump day.
Well, we're not well beyond it, really.
Well,
I mean, because technically,
it's all relative. I'm well beyond it.
yeah, like normally
20 hours or so.
hump day is like, I really consider it when we get to about 8 o'clock on Wednesday. But since we only worked today and
so
tomorrow,
we're 20
technically,
hours.
like, we're halfway right now. We're on the downslope.
Yeah.
But,
So, yeah, for the normies, for them out on the outside, happy hump day. For
Yeah.
us, you're in our rearview mirror, man. In
Sorry.
my mind, I'm already gone.
Already gone, and I'm feeling strong.
All right.
Sing
Way too
my
early.
victory song.
See, this is what the Brigade Bar has to hear.
yes,
Just sing it.
acapella, acapella, baby.
You and your what's
You're welcome.
I'm trying to think.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's a good acapella band name.
I don't know. Like, we'll have to come up with one,
I think.
and we'll call our show that. What do we? Yes. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. AJ and Rob getting you there, baby. Getting you to work, probably, or maybe getting you home if you're a stripper. I mean, good for you. Yeah, you never know.
Here
You
comes
never know.
treble.
That's. Oh. What about
That's the perfect acapella band name.
what about Unchained Melody?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we could find some good names for your acapella band.
How about Unshamed Melody?
Unshamed Melody.
Unshamed Melody, Unashamed Melody.
There we go.
We'll come up with one. We'll come up with a good one. Yeah, there's so many options. There's so many options.
Did you stay up and watch the end of that game last night?
I did not. No.
I'm glad I didn't.
Watch the end of what game?
The Spurs.
No,
you had there was real stuff going on.
I
get it. You
I
had
watched
money
the
riding,
Astros game, and I lost money in the most painful way possible.
Well, we all lost last night on that one. Hunter Brown, Stroh. Well, anyway.
So stupid.
Spurs gave up a 15-5 run to lose the game. They played well.
Hold on. They gave up a what run?
They lost 89-88 on a 15-5 run to close out the game.
I thought you said a 55-point run. I was
No,
like,
no,
whoa,
no,
that
no.
should be
Whoa.
like
They were
that should
playing
be the
pretty
biggest
well.
headline ever.
I was pretty
Just
impressed
go
with Noise, Mike Noise,
The Noid.
the Noid. I don't know what happened at the end. Bronny had like 2 points. Carter Bryant. Carter Bryant's a long way away, man. Nice
Yeah.
stroke. Nice stroke. You can see it, but it's like a baby giraffe learning to walk. It's not pretty. But this dude, Garcia Jones,
that's a made-up person.
let me tell you,
That's
go
a made-up
back
person.
and watch this cat. Lefty, his first half stats, they even talked about it on TV. It was the perfect stat line for the modern NBA. In the first half, he shot 100%.
2 threes, 2 layups, and a dunk. I mean, it was
Okay,
perfect.
I'll take that.
He's got a quick stroke. He gets to the rim and has closing moves. He had a finished layup that was as acrobatic as anything you'll see anybody else in the world do. I'm just about sold on this cat. And with no Brenham and with no Wesley here, there is space for him.
Is David Jones now David Jones Garcia? Is it
Might
the
be.
David
This
Jones
guy's
that went to
Dominican. I don't know anything about him. I didn't take the time to look him up because my phone was dead where I was watching the game. He's Dominican, evidently.
Did they say did he go to school at DePaul in Memphis? Like, is it this same David Jones?
Keep in mind, we are watching the G League announcing crew. And while I was pretty impressed with the girl that did the job, they weren't really heavy on the history of the players. So I didn't get much more than I knew this guy had led us in scoring at least once or twice in the game total. I knew he had this total scoring numbers for this team. I didn't know what to expect. And the sad thing is he's an active guard, so there's not a lot of space. But I can see it made getting Olynyk yesterday a whole lot easier, I think, once they saw the way this guy plays. There is definitely potential. To me, at this stage, if you look back and remember Jonathan Simmons, who came out of nowhere, he reminds me of that kind of thing. Like, this guy has got something.
Okay. It's the same guy. So this is the same guy who he started out at DePaul and he ended up going to St. John's and then went and played for Penny at Memphis. And he was a pretty good player.
Oh.
His name was just David Jones. But he's been playing for the Mexico City Capitanes. So I guess he added the Garcia
maybe that got him in.
I think that's what he's trying to become a fan favorite.
I know that the Mexican leagues, they have a limit to like 2 internationals. So if you can prove any Mexican lineage, you don't count against national play.
I mean, the Dominican is pretty far from Mexico.
Well, maybe he's Mexican.
This is in the G League.
He's on the Capitanes G League.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just telling you, I didn't realize he was that experienced. So obviously he spent some time playing against pros. But the guy has something. There is legitimately game there. I don't know if it'll ever translate to the NBA or for the Spurs, but last night he was the best guy we had. And evidently, in all 3 of the games, he's the best guy we've had.
He was a good college player, a really good college player.
AJ, I didn't know who he was. I don't know where he came from. I literally, and I guess it's the addition of the name, but I was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, I never heard him called David Jones Garcia. He tricked me into thinking his name was David Jones.
Go watch his efficiency. Everything he got was under 2 dribbles. Uh-huh. He saw the floor. Not his turnovers, but it's crazy. Playing in this kind of frenetic pace, but really efficient the way he played. A quick release, a lefty, so he would be kind of a natural backup to De'Aaron. You wouldn't lose the flow of the game because lefties kind of look at the game a little different. So I think that I don't know how far away he is from being an NBA guard, but as far as a G League and a 2-way guard, he is exactly what I would be looking for.
He was on the G League All-Rookie team this last year. So, I guess he's been playing well.
We better be careful. Somebody can go sweep in and take this cat.
You got a little something.
And that wasn't even the biggest news last night. The Olynyk deal, when I found out about it, I high-fived. We talked about we need a big man to do big things. We want a goon. And we got that guy. Now, there might not be a lot of tread left on this old this old tire, but I think it was as appropriate a move as possible.
Is he a goon?
Well, no, but his
name's Kelly.
Well, and he's a Canadian, so how tough could he be?
Yeah.
But he's of good stock, comes out of Gonzaga, international play. And if you're successful in international ball, you're pretty tough. We know what Olynyk is. We know exactly. Yeah. The best way I can define what he is he's a poor man's Steven Adams. I mean, he will do everything you ask of him. He might not be able to do it for long, but he can certainly still do it. And bringing him in along with Cornette, that's a whole lot of front line, my brother. That's 23 feet of front line, or 22 and a half or so. You can roll out 3 legitimate, and Lennox 6'10", but he plays taller as far as his refrigerator size. That's a big old front line. You can really do some stuff and be very interchangeable because he's an outside dude as well. And he comes out of that same Boston Celtic play scheme that Brad Stevens put together way back when that they're still running through that blossomed Luke Cornett. So there's some continuity there as well.
Well, Kelly Olynyk was a Washington Wizard for 48 hours after he was traded from the Pelicans on Sunday. So a Washington Wizards legend, Kelly Olynyk, now coming to San Antonio.
Freed. He didn't have to get off the plane.
Fourth team in 3 years. He's been he's like that girl at the party in high school.
Look at his last year line. If we can get last year's line, it's like 10, or like 8, 8, 4, and 3. If you can pull that from Olynyk, dude.
8.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 3 assists, a half a block, 20 minutes a game.
That's if they get that for what they just gave up, high five, brother.
Yeah.
So this wasn't a big expenditure, but it was a big get. And it wasn't a starter get. It wasn't an earth-shaking get. But these are the kind of guys that good teams have.
But why? I want to know why he's passed around so much.
Because he's an expendable contract, and there's a lot of guys that can do exactly what he does for a lot less because they're young. The Spurs don't need any more young. We know exactly what Olynyk can do. Now, the hope is, the prayer is, he's not like the last guy we brought in to try to do that, Haircut, who finally is gone.
Who's Haircut?
His name fell out because of the nickname. We just let him go. He was here. We brought him in from another Gonzaga kid on the roster the last 4 years. Now I'm completely flummoxed. We just let him go. I think he's with Milwaukee now.
I don't know. Who's Haircut? I've never heard you call someone a haircut. What kind of haircut does he have?
He's well coiffed.
Okay.
I mean, he had a good haircut. Okay. I'm not making fun of the haircut. I'm just saying I just kind of thought of him as Haircut. It's Zach Collins.
Oh, okay.
Haircut. You just hope that he doesn't turn into a Zach Collins kind of not quite good enough to execute exactly what the Spurs need. A decent enough shooter, but not good enough.
Okay.
Olynyk is a solid dude. You know exactly who he is. He knows his role, and he will not let anything happen to the golden goose. I can tell you that, too. He knows, he will be very aware of protecting the golden child that's 7'5" standing right beside him.
This marks his 8th team in his NBA career, which is he's been in the league since 2013. 4 years in Boston, 3.5 in Miami, then Houston, Detroit, Utah, Toronto, New Orleans, and now, 48 hours in Washington. Never played for him, but now San Antonio. I just always worry about these guys who get, at this point, it just feels like more of a contract move than anything.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, it did clear some space. There's no doubt. They got rid of those 2 first-rounders that didn't have any room. So we freed those kids to go out and do something. He will be a contributor. But he won't be a long-term guy. And like I said, he's not an earth-shaking move. But when you think of things that make good teams good, is having interchangeable parts that can, have a guy that can play 3 positions, and he can. He can play all the way down to a pretty moderate-sized big 4 if you're playing somebody like that. But really, he's a 2-position guy. He's a pick-and-roller that doesn't demand much, can hit a jump shot. Offensive rebound. Look at the numbers per minute on his offensive rebounding game. So he knows what he's doing. We know exactly what we've got, and he's not going to demand anything more than something to eat. He'll come to work for you.
Well, he was in Houston for like half a season. I guess it was the year after COVID. But like when I was there covering the Rockets, and this was, mind you, like the worst iteration of the Rockets.
Yeah.
This was the John Wall, Kenyon Martin, like Kevin Porter. This was Eric Gordon. This was a disaster version of the Rockets. They were really, really bad. But Kelly Olynyk was kind of a bright spot. He was like almost a 20-point-a-game guy when he was there.
Yeah, and that's been a few years. And that same game is still there. But you talked about the movement. He's kind of like the Brandon Cooks. He's got everything you want.
Yeah.
There's just not much more else. So if you need that, he's a perfect guy to get. But he will do exactly as is required to win basketball games.
Yeah.
And that's all you want right now. And that opened up some more space. And, there wasn't anything going to happen with Brenham and Wesley. I'm going to miss Malachi's going to play in the NBA. He's going to stick around, I get the sense. So whoever ends up with him or however he lands, they'll probably have him on a roster.
There's just no space for guards on this roster. There's just those were guys who could make the team when there was no good players. And now unfortunately for guys like that, Spurs have good players, and they don't need those guys anymore.
So onward and upward, good riddance and good luck.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I wonder how he fits into a rotation, though.
Who? Olynyk?
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be second, third, fourth off the bench. Yeah, he's not going to start. He'll be a mid-minutes relief guy, 8 minutes in.
I mean, then.
Well, keep in mind, guys like Wemby get winded quick, so there'll be a lot of quick, line changes, I think, with the Spurs.
But he's behind Kornet in the rotation.
Oh, yeah.
But it feels like, are they going to be on the floor at the same time?
You know what? Who knows? I would assume that there will be times when there'll be Olynyk and Kornet on the court a whole lot more than there will be with Wemby and
one of them.
Those two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I bet they play together a lot.
Okay, well, we'll continue to discuss that move. We got a lot of giveaways today, by the way. We got a lot of stuff to give away. I'll tell you what, Brigade Bar, you want something, y'all better hit those thumbs. I tried to give away some food at the Brigade Bar yesterday in the 8 o'clock hour, 9 o'clock hour. There was like 13 thumbs up.
Dude.
13?
That 9 o'clock giveaway, that's a big deal around here.
Well,
there's a lot of fans of this band here in town.
Well,
that's a big deal. Y'all want to make sure we do thumbs up.
Better get some thumbs.
Better
smash
the thumb, as I keep getting told.
Give me that thumb, baby.
Smash the like.
It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like we do have a stall on Loop 410 westbound Perrin Vital, taking up a right lane. 35 northbound 1604, making your way up to FM 1103, 6-7 minutes. I-10 eastbound Loop 410 to 1604, 5-7-minute ride. And along 281 southbound 1604, run over to Wurzbach Parkway, about 5 minutes. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, do call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. That number is 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Texas Department of Transportation. A heavy foot can cost you a heavy fine or more. Speeding is a factor in 1,500,000 crashes every year in Texas. So always follow the speed limit. And if there's bad weather or road construction ahead, slow down. Be safe. Drive smart. A message from TxDOT.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff. Now we can chill, Mom.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Dick's Deal Days are happening now. You won't want to miss our biggest sale of the summer. Scorecard members earn a $20 bonus reward on your purchase of $150 or more. Plus, 3 days of amazing savings start Tuesday. Check out offers from brands like Nike, Adidas, Hoka, and Stanley. And check back daily for new one-day deals Tuesday through Thursday. Score the season's hottest savings before they're gone on July 10th. Shop in the app and on Dix.com. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hey, Tinsley, why don't we use EasyCater to order food for staff lunches?
Because my 46-page acronym system is so easy. I just have to salad, stay alert to late arriving deliveries, pie, put in expenses, and Google Pie. Go out and get everyone's preferences and allergy information.
That's supposed to be simple?
No, simple is Steve and Irma and Margie prefer lasagna and empanadas.
OMG.
No need to make work life more complicated. Just use EasyCater, the easy way to get food for work.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Wake up, grab your brush and put a little makeup. Why'd you leave the kids up on the table?
You know,
You
I'm gonna
wanted
just. This is the first time you've impressed me.
Do what?
That was actually impressive that you knew the words. I mean, a lot of these songs I get. I mean, they got hooks that you remember. I never did know the words of those first 2 lines there.
I love System of a Down. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the
that was impressive.
SOAD.
I would say most people that even our fans couldn't spit out that first couple of lyrics.
I think they can. This is a pretty popular song.
I don't know. I'm just saying that to me that was one of the more impressive gets.
How'd you go create another fable?
I got table. I got hit you table.
You wanted to.
Yeah, but
You wanted to. I don't think you trust.
See, no.
In.
Well, this part's easy.
Oh, but
it's that table.
Yeah. Grab a brush and put a little makeup.
I didn't get that.
Hide the scars to fade away the shake up.
It's kind of like when you listen
leave the keys up on the table.
See, when you listen to a Pearl Jam song and you actually hear the lyrics, you go, "Oh God, this is awful." This guy's talking about shooting himself in the head. I thought this was a fun song, and he's talking about offing himself. Ruined my day.
I'm still alive.
So I kind of like. I thought he was like, "Don't call me daughter." Like, hey, no, this is sad. I don't.
The shades go down. It's in her hair.
See, we don't like that. And see, I'm sorry, Brigade Bar, that I did that to you.
Thank you.
You got some more of "Here Comes Trouble."
Don't call me daughter. Not fit to
the acapelliacs.
Your picture kept where remind me.
3 chords of the truth.
Unchained melody. Boom, baby. Yeah. Boom. How did you said my guy Harrison Ingram, he just sucks, huh?
Dude, he tries hard, and he can touch the top of the box. That guy can jump out of the gym. He can defend. He just can't shoot, man. I feel so. It is a bummer because he can do a lot of stuff. He just can't do it well enough to be in this NBA, this thing we call the league.
You know,
too bad.
We were talking about with Edwin about Harrison Ingram, and like people forget that Harrison Ingram was looked at as not only like a big time.
He was going to be
he was
lottery.
like a lottery pick. Like he was a top 10
McDonald's
in the
All-American
country type player.
One of those upper echelon top 20 players that everybody knew from about the time they were in 8th grade. They were going to be in the NBA.
He was a 5-star amongst 5 stars.
And those guys, the attrition rate is pretty low. Normally, those kids, most of those guys that get pegged, they're right. We know they're headed that direction, and it's really going to be something that just doesn't develop that will keep them out because everything else looks right. And everything did look right. He went from North Carolina to Stanford. He got great coaching all the way through. He's a smart guy. He's going to end up with a Stanford degree. He just never learned to shoot. For whatever reason, that just never came. He's good on everything else. He can defend 4 positions. He can come off. He can run your offense. He's got some Draymond Green to him. But as soon as he has the ball in his hand, everybody looks to see where the passing lanes are because he is zero threat. And while doing all those things is great, but the Spurs already have that in Jeremy Sohan. We don't need another dude who is literally an offensive liability on the roster. There's just not enough space for a guy like that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He just hasn't. He's not worked out.
And again, the athleticism is apparent. Man, he can just sky, but it's just not enough.
Yep. So looks like maybe just one of those things that just didn't work out.
Well, I mean, go learn the jump shot. He's about as far away from playing.
You ain't gonna learn a jump shot at this point.
Yeah, the sad thing is to fix it now would be just about impossible. And he's about as far away skill-wise as Carter Bryant is. But, Carter Bryant's got a year on him, and Carter can shoot. Now, there's all the other stuff. Now, going to take some work.
Also, Carter Bryant's 18,
right,
and Harrison Ingram's 22
right.
or 23.
And even though they're only a year ahead of each other in professional play, Harrison's 5 years older, 4 years older.
Yeah.
So that doesn't bode well. The rest of the roster, there's some guys that can offensive rebound, some athletes there, but as we said, the separator yesterday is this Jones Garcia kid. He is worth watching for a couple of games. And if the Spurs don't keep him, somebody will.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that good. He's the best guy on our roster.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it's nice to have a guy like that.
Unexpected. I hope this isn't just momentum, and he got that little he's on fire touch. That I hope this carries on to Vegas because he was a fun watch last night.
Well, how did old Bronny James look? Was he a force to be reckoned with?
He is not a bad basketball player.
Vic.
He's not. But 2 points last night.
Dupuy, they say in French.
He's undersized, smart basketball player. I mean, he made the appropriate passes. He can play defense, but he's a mouse in the house, so he's a defensive liability. And he doesn't create his own shots, so his shots are going to come off layups, offensive rebounds, and backdoor cuts. And if those aren't there, he's just not going to score. But everything else, I thought he did pretty well. But the magnifying glass is so tough.
I was looking through the box score last night, and the last I saw of Darius Bazley was he was playing for the Thunder. That's the last. I mean, I guess maybe he's been around since then, but
he is a cautionary tale.
But that is a hell of a stat line.
Oh yeah, he was blistering
for a guy who can't seem to be on a roster, who last played for the Delaware Bluecoats, and before that the Guangdong Southern Tigers.
He was by far the best player in the game. But he's that
8 of 10 from the field, 10 of 12 from the line, 13 boards, 2 blocks, 27 points.
I think that was more a product of the defense or the dudes that were guarding him. He is a very skilled offensive player. But he is, for the very reason that he's skilled offensively, he is a turnover and a defensive liability. But and there's other stuff that goes along with him. They were talking about his career while he was playing last night. For those who don't remember, when he came out of high school, the rules were such he got in with an agent who decided that he wanted to go pro, but he couldn't. So he got a job with New Balance and some kind of business intern and spent the year doing something else other than playing basketball. And the rest of his class left him behind skill-wise. So by the time draft came around, he wasn't ready. Now, he's remarkably gifted. And if, with a little bit of effort, he's an NBA player. But there's some baggage there. But
yeah,
he destroyed our front line.
He was a Syracuse recruit and was like, I remember Jim Boeheim going, "Good luck to him."
Yeah,
He's like, I don't think this is the right way, but if he does, then best of luck to him. And again, he made it to the league for a little while, and he's got all the talent in the world.
He had a reverse spin move yesterday that was it was a highlight film move. It was as good as anybody in the world could do. And he can get to the rim and sky, and he's a good rim runner. But it's just I don't know where he plays on the Lakers team, but they're going to be able to use him. I bet he'll be on this roster somewhere, two-way at the very least.
Yeah, the Lakers can use everybody.
Yeah, I'm just talking about his 6'10" place on the court. I don't know where exactly he would play because I think most of those minutes are going to go to like Hachimura and those guys. But he's an NBA talent. But
I'll tell you what, if LeBron's not with the Lakers, there's minutes for him.
Absolutely true there. Again, he's playing against a bunch of dudes that are just trying, but he was the best among those guys, no doubt.
He was at one point like a top 15, top 20 recruit, and it was, it's still a first round draft.
And you can see it. He's so much. Not like Harrison Ingram where you wonder what happened. You can see it in Baisley. He's got that. It's just other stuff that have kept him off the teams and courts.
Yeah, he was a baller, man. Dalton Connect looked pretty solid too, I guess.
Evidently, he'd had a pretty rough outing starting out in California, but last night, I think he had 15 points in the fourth. He looked like an NBA guy, evidently.
Well, for a team that needs a lot of depth, looks like they're starting to find some, so good for them. All right, let's hit a break. We'll be right back. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like we do have a stall on Loop 410 westbound Perrin Vital, taking up a right lane. 35 northbound 1604, making your way up to FM 1103, 6-7 minutes. I-10 eastbound Loop 410 to 1604, 5-7-minute ride. And along 281 southbound 1604 on over to Wurzbach Parkway, about 5 minutes. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, do call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. That number is 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Fight back against low energy with TRT at Synergenics and Low T Center. TRT has never been easier with the new Synergenics Health app. Take the test, get the results, and control your treatment from your phone. Book now while the test is free at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Level up your summer projects with 4th of July savings on top brand cordless power tools from the Home Depot. Whether you're working on a fence, a planter box, or a new workbench, get the power and runtime you need with the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2 toolkit from the Home Depot for only $99, was $139. Get 4th of July savings on the cordless power you need to make summer projects easier than ever. Right now at the Home Depot.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check for your wallet first before hitting the drive-thru.
$6. Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial.
What's that?
Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook,
If
Illinois.
you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/radio. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ziprecruiter.com/radio to try it for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio.
The best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. I put on my jeans and I feel all right. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, how did the summer Spurs look last night against the Los Angeles Lakers? We'll talk about it as now they head off to Las Vegas. Plus, with Dak Prescott saying he is fully healthy and ready to go for training camp, does that change your outlook for the Cowboys this upcoming season? We're talking about it on The Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's go! Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I can't make them say these. That's what people say. But I keep cruising. Can't stop, won't stop cruising. Got this music in my heart telling me it's gonna be all right.
Is this Miss Kelsey?
Because the player's gonna play. And the hater's gonna hate.
I think this is her best song.
I'm just gonna shake, baby. Shake 'em
And
off.
again, I'd like to
Shake 'em
apologize
off.
to the Brigade Bar.
John says, AJ, sport talk, 8 out of 10. Singing, 4 out of 10.
There you go.
Being from Cali, 0 out of 10.
You're not from Cali.
Oh, well, that's why I get a 0 out of 10, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
I'll defend my brother across the aisle about California all
You're
day
a
long.
Texan.
And I think everything else was a very appropriate bid. That was not a West German judge. You know, the West German was always way out there.
Yeah.
This judge was right there, Canada. Good Canadian, honest judging.
God, man. I mean, well, all right. I'll worry.
I think I was actually kind of kind.
8 out of 10, I'm maxing out on sports talk, all right? I barely even like sports, if we're being honest.
And it's July.
Especially the day after the money I lost last night. I like sports even less.
These son of a bitch Astros, move the fence back.
We start sitting talking yesterday, and everybody gets all excited about the Astros because they're playing a bunch of schlubs and they're still winning until we actually pay attention.
I stayed up for extra innings. Hunter Brown sucked. First of all, they were down 6-1. They come all the way back in the 8th inning. It's 6-6, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a fighting chance here. Josh Hader shuts them down in the 9th. Then you get to extra innings, and they got the weird thing with the the runners already on second, and then the very first thing they do is bunt. So now they got a runner on third to start the inning, one on third and one out, and then they intentionally walk Jose Ramirez. He steals second right away, so the double play's out. I'm like, oh my God, you knew he was going to do that. And then they load the bases. They get 2 outs. Josh Hader, I mean, I feel bad for him. He hadn't given up 2 earned runs was like the worst outing he's had all season long. They asked him to pitch a second inning last night, and the way that he gives up this grand slam it's a pop fly. They posted the expected batting average on that ball, 158. That is it's a pop fly, a pop out in 28 out of 30 ballparks. In Houston and Boston, it's a home run into the first
But they
row.
have a tall wall.
Yeah.
It's a really tall wall.
And I mean, it was like the very front row, like landed in the guy's cup holder at the top of the Crawford boxes.
It giveth and taketh away. You get a good 82 games in there, or 91 games. So I mean, you get your fair share of the short fence. Sometimes it bites you in the ass.
Well, it bit me in the ass last night. I bet him at minus 190. I never bet favorites like that. And I was like, oh, Hunter Brown, he's too good.
He's too good.
And then he stunk, and I still had a chance to win. And they pop fly.
I DFS'd him with Hunter Brown, and I bet the over at 8 strikeouts, I think.
Oh, I thought you meant bet the over in the game.
No,
I was like,
bet the
that
over
was wise.
on the more. And then Asia had the good fortune of getting hurt, and I had her on the under anyway. So Asia did her job, breaking her wrist. Hunter Brown did not come to work.
Did you really break her wrist?
No, she hurt her wrist, though.
Oh, okay. But she's out, she left
but
for the
see,
game?
She sacrificed her body for the team. And Hunter Brown was a participant.
Yeah, he did not.
That's the difference between bacon and eggs on a breakfast plate.
Yeah,
there's commitment, and then there's participation.
He didn't do his job. Hey, did you see Angel Reese last night?
Dude, I don't even know how to begin to address this.
Listen, man, I don't dislike Angel Reese any more than I dislike other lady basketball players. Like, if you told me to pick my favorite between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, I don't really have a favorite. I'm not team Caitlin or team Angel. I think both of them are I think
a little entitled.
I think both of their current games, are vastly overrated.
They're both a little entitled.
Although it seems like Angel's playing really well lately. Like, I mean, at least the box scores would tell you she's playing really well lately. But last night, she's coming off the court, and one of the assistant coaches walks out to show her something on the clipboard.
She wasn't going to have none of that.
She's like in a sort of a jog, and this gal comes out and like presents this clipboard to her, and she doesn't even think about it. She swats it down to the floor, doesn't look back, runs right past this coach, and goes to the bench. Can you picture a world in the NBA, in man basketball,
no,
where a player slaps the clipboard out of a coach's hand, walks by him without addressing him, and it's like,
and then just goes right back in?
Yeah, just go, all right, get back out there, buddy. It's crazy behavior.
What if a Spur did that to Pop?
I just can't even fathom that.
Right?
I mean, I'm sure
there's
happened.
no world.
At some point, somewhere where a player has knocked the clipboard out of a coach's hands, and then just went and sat down, had a drink of Gatorade, and went back in the game. I'm sure it's happened.
This is Antonio Brown behavior,
but not in any seriously, not in any gym or on any team I have ever been a part of. I mean, I don't know how I'd even react.
It's insane behavior.
I don't think you're ever going to play here again. Especially not now. You're not going back in. I've seen it for the first time this morning, and I was just astounded that the coach just standing there stunned, like, okay, well, I'll just go grab some wood and sit over here.
Yeah, I would have lost it.
So Angel had here's what she had to say about it. Someone posted the video, and she quoted it on Twitter or on X and said, those hoes were pissing me off. Shout out to Ann because she knew it was heat of the moment, and she didn't let me apologize because she knew. Not happening again, though.
Whatever. It will.
No.
I mean,
no, it's not happening again.
Dude, how humiliated. That coach had to like bend down and pick up the clipboard in front of the whole team. Like,
you know, in the professional world, your penalty is a fine. That's really all you can do. And in the NBA, and you see that happen, I can't imagine what the fine would be. I'd make it 10% of your annual, whatever that is. That's how much it's such a cataclysmic break in the order of things.
Well, the bigger the fine, the bigger the deterrent.
that's the idea. So I would be laying down. I don't know. She's only making $75,000 a year, so it's not. I don't know how much.
Well,
it
we're
would
going
be
to find
really
you $70,000.
hurt the wallet, but man,
Yeah,
it's a different world.
And then they maybe a little bit of karmic justice as Shakira Austin scored she had 2 free throws with 2.8 seconds left to give the Mystics an 81-79 win over the Sky.
Ball don't lie.
Kind of. Reese she had 22 points and 15 boards, extended her WNBA record to 6 straight games with 15 or more rebounds. Her 6th straight double-double in the first half with 10 points and 10 rebounds. So, yeah, Angel Reese playing well, but wild behavior.
Them hoes be, what you say?
Those hoes were pissing her off.
Those hoes are pissing me off.
Yeah.
Pretzels are making me thirsty.
That's Well, don't take it out on the coach. These hoes pissing me off. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. This is, again, I tried to picture a world where that, like, could you see that in any man's sport?
Well, what a strange...
Like, in the NFL, imagine going up to the coach and knocking the play sheet out of his hand and then just walking by him and nothing happening.
Or calling your opponent a hoe.
Well...
You are.
To her credit, she did use the asterisk to bleep out the hose.
Oh, okay. But that's what we assume it was?
Yeah. But, I mean, sometimes you call your teammates hoes.
I personally never have.
Like, when you told me Joe's on vacation again, I said, this hoe is out again? This hoe is in Mexico? Didn't they just have vacation? Man, these hoes in the afternoon are always on vacation.
Hoes?
That's what I say.
Yeah.
But now
I say foos.
Now imagine in our meeting with Dax, he comes in.
Oh, there's no meeting, by the way.
Oh, yeah, there's no meeting today.
Yeah.
But imagine, next week when we have our meeting, he comes in with his book, and I just walk in and knock it out of his hand and walk back and just leave.
Dax, them hoes is making me mad.
These hoes are pissing me off, Dax. These afternoon show hoes always going on vacation. Tired of it. These hoes.
Did he just call me a hoe?
Well, no, not you.
He called me a hoe.
But those hoes were pissing me off, and it won't happen again, though.
You better ask somebody who I am.
Wow, I can't. I just couldn't get over it last. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Any man's sport. I want you to show me an example of that happening. Like
Well, I imagine David Blatt and LeBron had a few of those exchanges. I ain't paying
I don't
attention.
think I ever saw LeBron knock the clipboard out of his hand.
I've never seen that before.
I mean, like,
not once.
Latrell Sprewell did choke the life out of his coach
but
once,
at least he had the good sense to do it in practice.
Right, yeah. Not in front of everybody. Not in front. I mean, jeez. All right, we'll be right back. Wrap up hour number 1. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1.
94. Home Care Services, Array, the College of Healthcare Professionals, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff. Now we can chill, Mom.
Level up your summer projects with 4th of July savings on top brand cordless power tools from the Home Depot. Whether you're working on a fence, a planter box, or a new workbench, get the power and runtime you need with the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2 toolkit from the Home Depot for only $99 was $139. Get 4th of July savings on the cordless power you need to make summer projects easier than ever. Right now at the Home Depot.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in San Antonio without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in San Antonio for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text EARN to 64,000. San Antonio is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in San Antonio and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text EARN to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text EARN to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text EARN to 64,000.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
George gets justice.
You've just been in an accident, and now you're asking yourself, what do I do now? You're dealing with pain, medical bills, and missing work. Dealing with the insurance company feels overwhelming. George Salinas Injury Lawyers, we're here for you. We'll listen and explain your options and fight to get you the justice you deserve. No upfront fees, no stress, just real help when you need it most. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today or visit us at getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
What? What? What?
Yeah, yeah,
Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 bark.
I love Ice Cube. Man,
in the ghetto.
This is the second show in a row with a mention of in the ghetto.
And, you know, Ice Cube was a whole lot more believable than Dolly Parton. In the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
Not quite as threatening.
How about Master P really did sucker an entire generation in like, I mean, by the way, brilliant businessman. He's still like I think he's a billionaire.
Oh, yeah.
Still, like,
he's still making money.
But like his biggest hits were just him making noise.
Well, okay, we could talk that about DJ Khaled as well.
Oh yeah, but this is this is who
modern
originated it.
Well, yeah, he's the modern day Master P.
He's like, I got to come up with a big hit.
Doesn't matter. Get a
Make
good
him
loop.
say,
Hey man, It worked. He bought his kid a basketball.
And then he followed that up with hoo-dee-hoo, hoo-dee-hoo.
Oh yeah, hoo-dee-hoo.
But this is the craziest thing. There were people convinced that like No Limit was the future of rap.
Oh
and
yeah, and all the album covers look the same.
Dude, I was in basic training with a dude who had a full back tat of a No Limit tank, and it said No Limit Soldier, and it was like
awful.
I mean, he probably spent $1,000 in like 1990s tattoo money on this.
That's like
it'd be like $5,000 now. But he was like laid on a table for 8 hours to get a No Limit tank tattooed on him. And then I like every time I hear Master P, I always think, I wonder what that guy feels about that tattoo.
There ain't
now.
no coming back from that.
Do people ever ask him about that?
You go to Botched, they can't fix that.
Yeah,
we'll just go black it out.
They can't.
There's nothing we can do. That tank's the tank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wear a T-shirt.
Best part was light skinned brother, so you
dark.
can't hide it. He ain't hiding it.
The No Limit Soldier.
Yeah, I thought I told you. We'll be back. Morning Huddle 94.1.
This is the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
We're going to draw one name of a person that sold their car to GiveMeTheVin.com and give them $25,000.
Wow. Give Me the VIN is giving away $25,000 in cash every month.
Could you imagine being that person? Wouldn't that feel great?
That would be awesome.
Well, honey, you won.
Yeah. Oh my God. Heather Krager of Dallas, Texas won $25,000 and Give Me the VIN's big cash giveaway.
That's so cool.
You could be next to get a little more, maybe a lot more.
I guess that old Mercedes was worth more than I thought.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Whether it's day or night, hot flashes due to menopause can be unpredictable. That's why there's Veoza, a prescription treatment proven to reduce the number and severity of hot flashes day and night that can start working in as early as 1 week. Based on clinical studies measuring efficacy at 4 and 12 weeks, individual results may vary. Talk to your healthcare provider about what this may mean for you. For moderate to severe vasomotor symptoms or hot flashes and night sweats due to menopause, Veoza can cause serious side effects, including liver problems. Your doctor will do blood tests before and during treatment. Stop Veoza and call your doctor if you have symptoms of liver problems, such as feeling more tired than usual, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, itching, yellowing of the eyes or skin, pale stool, dark urine, or stomach pain. Don't use Veoza if you have cirrhosis, severe kidney problems, kidney failure, or take CYP1A2 inhibitors. Ask your doctor about Veoza. To learn more, call 1-866-239-1637 or go to Veoza.com. That's VEOZAH.com.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. To have payment plans, call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Your commute definitely starting to fill in. We've got a stall at 281 southbound San Pedro off to the shoulder. A little bit of a delay from right around Tacoma. On 410 Frontage Road westbound Austin Highway, that stall is taking up a main lane. Right lane is blocked. On 410 eastbound Bandera Road, that stall's been moved off a main lane off to the shoulder. We are showing delays from Calabria. And 410 northbound at North WWI, disabled vehicle now off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs and general manager Brian Wright continue to round out the Spurs roster. Last night, a big trade with the Washington Wizards, bringing in big man Kelly Olynyk. The Wizards received Malachi Brenham and Blake Wesley. Also a 2026 second-round pick. The Spurs rounded out the California Summer League with a loss to the Los Angeles Lakers. Losing on a 15-5 run, the Spurs head to Las Vegas. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
7:02 on the Morning Huddle. Hope you hoes are having a good morning.
Yeah.
We're doing all right here.
Yeah. You hoes don't know. You hoes don't know.
Hoes pissing me off.
I'm telling you.
All right. The hoes were robbing your wife's store this morning, Vic.
Yeah, they were. It woke us up.
Crackheads coming for some ciggies. Takis and cigarettes.
And, guess what they took?
Cigarettes
Take
and
one
Takis.
guess. Well,
I got it. Baby formula.
Yeah, baby formula.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the last thing.
You can sell that at the flea market.
They literally took all the blunt wraps. And
all the blunt wraps?
That's
Really?
all no cigarettes. No, they only took.
They took the wraps?
Yeah, the wraps, the cigars, anything that you can make a blunt out of. That's all they took.
Imagine like risking your freedom
for that.
Yeah.
For blunt wraps.
Mind you, it was probably about 10 or 15, maybe 20 boxes. And one box had about 20 or 30 of the packages. You know, so they did take a lot, but that was all they took.
All right then.
Yeah.
What a weird thing to break into a store for.
Yeah. Like, oh, and then I think she mentioned that they took a 20-ounce of Mountain Dew. I was going like.
So not a professional job.
No,
I wouldn't say this was a professional hit.
Yeah, they knew they triggered the alarm.
Ocean's 15.
Yeah, this was not a.
Came in from the ceiling and everything.
This wasn't a group of arch criminals coming in with a plan.
The lasers were all over the place.
It was just it was a thirsty dude with a couple of zips in his pocket, no way to get rid of it. So he had got something to drink and some wraps.
They're like climbing over the cash to get to the blunt wraps.
Took the blunt wraps, Mountain Dew, and a lighter. I don't know. Mountain Dew, Takis, and a lighter. We think it was a crime of opportunity.
I'll ask her about the Takis.
Imagine they get to the car and they're like, "Man, we got the blunt wraps," and he's like, "Man, I got this Mountain Dew too."
Yeah.
And his buddy's like, "Would you get me one?"
Oh, let's go back.
Bro, what kind of friend are you? What kind of hoe are you, bro? Man, You want me to share these blunts with you, but you didn't get me a Baja Blast?
I know.
What's up?
Come on.
A 12-pack of Mountain Dew. Dude, Ocean's 11, another heist.
God, you know what, man?
There was a long time ago, I worked on the produce docks.
Uh-huh.
And docks of any sort are notorious kind of. There's an element that works overnight.
Sure.
Docks. And there were junkies that would take orders. They'd come by
for whatever you need.
Like, what are you looking for? Like, well, I could certainly use a pair of ostrich boots. What size you wear? And like you'd give the size in a couple weeks, couple days, sometimes within hours.
Jeez. Within minutes, probably.
Serious, within minutes.
When did you negotiate price?
Oh, well, depending on what they came back with and how hard up they were for a hit. I mean,
so if they wanted,
if they were a little antsy and they were kind of scratchy, you got a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
If they were, if they were glassy-eyed and already had taken care of their issue, you didn't get quite as good a deal. So just kind of depended. This is a different era, and it wasn't me, and this was for entertainment purposes only.
Right, of course.
I hate drugs. I hate poverty, but man, it does create great crime stories.
Like a motivated junkie.
It's funny, man.
A motivated junkie get a lot done, man.
For my personal humor, I mean, I need people to keep doing stupid crime. Like, I don't want a world where there's no crime because it's too funny sometimes.
Well, you need the yin to the yang. You need to say you have darkness to know what the light looks like.
And I guess, like, whoever owns that dollar store is probably frustrated that they got robbed.
Oh, you're paying for it.
They lost money on it.
I don't think Dollar General's lost a penny.
No.
They're fine.
But
they're good.
For people like me...
No, they're fine.
That's hilarious.
The consumer's not. You're paying for it.
Yeah, one time they broke in through a brick wall. The brick, instead of the front door, they actually made a hole in the side of the building.
A motivated junkie.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And they're like...
That was my wife's old store.
Imagine you used all that...
for that. If you could just use those powers for good.
Right.
If you could
or
just focus.
I don't know. If
you could be part of a demolition crew.
You get a job being like working on a construction crew, and instead you're like,
we need to demo that building. I got it. I know what to do.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going to break into a store. I don't know what they took that time, but I know he spent a lot of time in there.
They took brick mortar. Like, I need a trowel and some mortar.
And a Mountain Dew.
Yeah, and a 20-ounce Mountain Dew.
A working man gets thirsty.
Good Lord, man. Yeah. So did they get video of these crackheads? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, they got video, but...
They'll never catch them.
Yeah.
They made it. They got out of there. If your wife would have been there, she would have whooped their ass.
Yeah, she's still checking to see if there's anything else. But so far, the only thing missing were
Blunt wraps and Mountain Dew.
blood wraps and a Mountain Dew because they just stocked it the night before.
Well, yeah, and what sucks is, like,
I'll take some
anybody
of them
else who
Huggies.
goes in there to try buy some blunts can't get them.
I know they're going to be upset
Well, there's
today.
no such thing as a victimless crime.
Exactly.
Somebody eventually is going to suffer. Some poor stoner.
Yeah.
He's going to roll in this morning when it opens up and be fresh out of wraps and dew.
Some honest pothead who saved up his money.
Who's just trying to get through the day. Just needs his wraps, his dew. He's going to go back and video game it.
And he's got to go to another store.
He's going to have to go sit in mom's basement all day long with a pipe.
Man. Like he saved up his allowance.
Yeah, he had.
And then I think about a few months ago, they were trying to steal the AC copper
the
things.
copper, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But now they have them all barred up, so they can't take anything there. It's kind of a ghetto.
Barred up, like there's
like burglar bars.
You
like
to,
picture burglar bars
on the ceiling.
Well, around your air conditioning units.
around the unit.
So they won't steal all the copper wiring out of there.
So if anybody needs to work on it, they have to remove all the bars, and then the guy can work on it. Then have to put it back.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, man. It's pretty bad.
That's what I have. Like everybody in my neighborhood has that burglar bars on their ACs, and
you are living in the ghettos of Stone Oak.
In the ghetto,
the hard Scrabble streets.
In the ghetto
you live in Dolly Parton's ghetto.
Yeah.
Not Ice
in the
Cube.
ghetto.
No, I live in Ice Cube ghetto. That's where I live. No, I live in
an Ice Cube.
I live in Flea Bottom.
Nobody ever tries to steal like your AC stuff or
Flea Bottom.
Yeah, no, that's where I live. I'm serious.
Nobody ever takes your catalytic converter or anything like that.
No, luckily no.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't had that happen, but still, man, it could happen any day.
A lot of people where you live have like their driveway is fenced in. Like they have a gate. Like
some of them do. Yeah, some of them do. Some of them don't.
That's what the very wealthy people have, the gated driveway.
Not wealthy.
They're the ones that have the barbecue in the front yard.
Gated community.
No, if you have a front yard fence, you're having your cues in the front yard.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a front yard fence, but I queue in the back.
I've never had a front yard fence in my life.
Really?
Never.
No, I had neighbors that did.
Nah, I didn't have
those little picket fence kind of
Did you? Have you always had a front yard fence?
Yeah, I always have.
That's so weird. Like
even when I was growing up,
it's a
on
more
the south
common
side.
San Antonio thing.
Is it a San Antonio thing? Yeah,
I know a lot of people that always have
I
front
see
yard.
a lot of them here. I've never had one.
I don't find it that odd. It's so common.
It's like I remember going to Vic's house. I was like, I've never seen this.
It's a very common and I think a lot of the Ray Ellison homes.
Yeah,
I think that was kind of a way.
Yeah, that was my home. Mine was.
And those houses were all built about in the mid '50s, and there's so many of them. It's just not that uncommon.
And they threw those fences up with them.
They just knew that the most of the people that are going to live there eventually were going to be barbecuing out front, and they needed a place to. They need to be able to protect that couch.
Yeah,
that you leave right
and
out on the side.
Everybody's got dogs, so.
And the dogs too. The dogs are out there to protect the couch.
Now the backyard also has a fence though at these.
No, the
places,
backyard
right?
you don't go back there.
Yeah, okay.
That's where the car is, with the wheels off.
We'll get to it eventually.
Eventually, I'm gonna fix
I'm gonna fix it.
It's a '65 Chevelle that's gonna be beautiful.
One day. Oh man, Flea Bottom. That's funny.
That's where I live. It's awful.
You don't live in Flea Bottom.
There's two homeless people that walk in front of my house every morning. I see them on the ring.
Well, they're picking up cans.
They make fun of Vic. They're
Yeah,
like,
they're
look
like,
where you live.
Look at this dump.
No, they're picking up all the cans.
Yeah, maybe I'm homeless, but at least I don't live there.
No, they.
Yeah, they're better off than me.
Vic goes outside.
A nice cart too.
Vic goes outside and asks those hobos for money. Like, hey man, I gotta pay rent on this place. Like, you're a sucker, dude.
Can I get $20?
No way, man. Spend your money on booze like the smart man does. Oh lordy.
Vic's the wealthy dude in his neighborhood. He's the one with the solar panels on his roof.
That is true. Yeah.
Well, I'm the only one in the neighborhood with a paid off solar.
Yeah,
Everyone else is under contract. I paid mine off.
Mm-hmm.
See?
They got the money.
Yeah. But then that's about it.
But you said you want to have the crummiest house in the nice neighborhood.
My financial guy a long time ago is to own the cheapest house in the most expensive neighborhood you can get into.
But Vic owns the nicest house in Flea Bottom.
Well, if you're not going to move, at some point you want to have the most expensive house in the neighborhood.
Oh no, I'm not moving or selling.
That means you've invested.
That's a permanent route there.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Till you die?
Till I die, and if I die, then it goes to my kids, and they're going to stay there. And hopefully they won't sell it.
Well, I mean,
it's not the only place. Of course, that'll just be like home base for kind of like when I was growing up. My mom's house. That's the house. That's how it is with me. That'll just be the house. They're going to have their own home somewhere.
But then they'll just still have a random house to go.
Or somebody will live. I think I want to say my daughter will end up living there.
Okay.
Because by then, hopefully, the house will be paid off, and she doesn't have to worry about that. Just maintenance.
Man. Yeah. Well, what about your wife?
I don't know. After I die, she'll probably move in with someone else and move
with
out.
a new husband, huh?
Yeah.
Probably have his own place.
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably live out there by Rob up on the hill.
Yeah, her credit's not too good, so she's got to find somebody with good credit.
Well, if she can
have you heavily insured.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you can do stuff, no one cares about your credit score.
I did a will 4 years ago, so I got to change it here.
Well, you're going to have to. My advice to you is have a term life.
There we go.
That's right.
Term life insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah. If when you die, if your wife is willing to do stuff, no one will care about her credit score. She's just got to.
She's just gonna do it. Yeah.
Yeah. She's.
I guess that applies for a guy too.
Well, yeah. I mean, if she dies first, Vic will do stuff for some chick.
He'll do stuff for cash.
Yeah, he'll do whatever it takes.
I will.
to be taken care of, a kept man.
That's what life in Flea Bottom's like.
Yeah,
That's
I got to move out of Flea Bottom.
Flea Bottom.
There's crap in the streets and everything. It's awful.
Like actual crap?
Yeah, like actual crap.
That's interesting.
Dude standing on the corner with like fire in a barrel.
Yes.
I did the thing where I did the search for pedos in my neighborhood.
Yikes.
Oh, yeah, I did that too. There's about 4 or 5 in my neighborhood that are registered, supposedly. But
How far away?
There's 2 within like my my
I guess what
neighborhood.
Have you ever had one
5
come
mile
like
radius?
knock on the door and say, I've heard you have to do that. I've never had that happen.
No, I've searched it, and it's actually, they have a sign on
So they have to have a sign in the front. Oh, God.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
The thing
I
is,
thought it was like for rent or for sale.
You're
No,
on your
it was-
house and your neighbor hangs a sign that they're a pedophile. Your property values went to 0.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I remember seeing one sign there like, oh, my gosh. Just when my kids were little.
Well, there's 2 of them there. One of them pulled out his crank and showed it to somebody.
Oh, you actually have the crime.
Yeah. Well, on one of them, the other one, it's like a mystery.
Well, public urination can be defined in ways that sound much worse than that is.
Yes.
So you go, was he just taking a leak behind a tree?
But
Or
usually,
was he waving the flagpole?
When I take a leak outside, I always make sure there's no 14-year-old girls
Well, see,
around.
there you go. That's the
yikes,
man.
Like I look for police and 14-year-old girls.
That's a good rule of thumb.
And if I'm clear, I'll pee outside. If not, I'll hold it.
Well, I had a friend that got popped for public urination outside of a bar, and it was defined as some sort of thing that
Is
it was
he
far
now
different.
registered?
No, we got it. No, but it could have been if he'd been convicted. You're like, no, I'm not going to plead to this.
The other guy is like, he's the one. It doesn't expire, so he's like
This dude needs to be watched.
Yes, but I think his crime is computer related.
Ooh, well.
Which that probably leads to worse stuff. And he looks like.
So you even have a mugshot. You don't even know what to look for.
Yeah. So my wife was like showing my kid like, hey,
if you see this,
listen, my older son.
Ain't nobody creeping.
Nobody's abducting him. Like he's
probably bigger than the guy that's gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's no.
He's too big to abduct. But the little one, my wife is like, hey, you see this guy at the pool, you get the hell out of there. You see this guy, you get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what's going on? She's
Come
like,
home, tell your dad, get the pistol, and go back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you can do. But yeah, I do. I always do that. Anytime I move, I always check to see if there's pedos in the neighborhood. I think it's a good rule of thumb. But I haven't.
We have
haven't gone by
the crime map where it'll show you what's gone down in your neighborhood in the last 24 hours or 36 hours. There's a crime map.
You don't have crime in your neighborhood.
Well, we have people that leave their sprinklers on. Sometimes they cut the flowers way too soon.
Trash can left out overnight.
Your chickens disappear.
Chickens.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, how is that chicken thing going?
We're holding steady at 11.
Okay.
Holding
you
steady.
got the problem solved?
Well, maybe, or the ones that are still alive are smart enough never to be taken, one or the other. But these 11s have held on for the last couple of weeks.
And how's the swimming pool going?
Pump guy is due today. We're having to replace the pump.
Okay. All right.
In the money pit.
How many registered offenders in your neighborhood, Vic?
I don't know. I must
He's checking now.
Yeah, I just wanted to see. Let me see. I can't remember what.
The worst would be if you look it up and you find out your wife is on there, or you find out it's you. You're like, what? I had a warrant.
I have a warrant. What?
All right. We'll be right back. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
When you head out over the weekend, so many people are looking for a place to leave their pets. Who's going to take care of my babies as good as I can? There's only one place to go in all of San Antonio. It's Bunkin' Biscuit. The backyard barbecue coming up around the corner is being set up for you guys to come and see what I already know. It's a place for your babies, and there's no better place to go daily, overnight, on a holiday stay than Bunkin' Biscuit up there in Selma. And kind of invite everybody out. I'm really excited about this. Backyard Barbecue is coming around the corner. They've got all kinds of events for you and your pet coming up next week on the 23rd, or 2 weeks. It's going to be Wednesday the 23rd, out at their beautiful facility, this resort spa right there off of 35. Locally owned. It's just like your favorite teams. They're going to take care of you like they took care of my kids, my babies, over the weekend. Come out and celebrate with the Blitz and myself. We're going to have a good time. There's going to be all kinds of events, hang out with prizes to be given away, free stays for your pups, and a whole lot more. It's a chance to go to a place that you need to go see to actually believe, a pet resort that's accessible to everybody around San Antonio. If you're looking for a place, like I said, for daycare, if it's a long weekend stay, whether it's just a place to go leave your baby for a little bit, there's no better place. They've got indoor play. There's even a splash pad. My babies came home bathed, happy to have been where they were. No better place to go. Again, on the 23rd, grab your babies, grab your pets, and come out hang out with me and the Blitz starting at 2 o'clock. That's Bunk and Biscuit out there on Selma. But in the meantime, if you're headed out of town, there's no better place to leave your babies. That's Backyard Barbecue coming up, and that is, of course, Bluebonnet, Bunk and Biscuit out there in Selma. It's a place for my pets, and it's certainly a place for yours. Go ahead and check them out today.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the second annual Back to School Drive, Saturday, August 2nd from 11 till 1 p.m. or while supplies last at the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-aged children while supplies last, so don't be late. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Sponsored in part by North Park Toyota, Centromed, Romo Doors, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
Guys, don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at Synergenics and Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with San Antonio's leading experts in men's health. Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergenics Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you won't find anywhere else. Download now or book your appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Mom, it's
It's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff. Now we can chill, Mom.
L&S Pump Repair Machine Shop, your go-to for saltwater disposal and pump repairs, on-site service 24/7, parts on hand, and full pump packages ready to roll. Call L&S 936-853-3810. Keep your flow strong, San Antonio.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
Yeah, she'll get you out of that car, too. You're
I'm
still
sure.
going to be upside down, but you'll have better ball joints.
Well, it's always good to have better ball joints. Can you have better ball joints at my age?
You just got to oil your ball joints. Make sure they're properly lubricated.
But that's the guy at the service department's job. And he didn't say anything about lubing Reinigel's ball joints.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Uh-oh, it's magic.
You a Cars fan?
No.
Are you? Yeah, I liked Rick Ocasek and the Cars.
I'm not mad.
They were
I mean,
a consistently good band.
Yeah, all their songs remind me of the 8th grade, 9th grade.
Yeah, they were consistently good. Probably 4 or 5 straight records that were charters.
I'm not.
I mean, they weren't
mad
great,
at 'em.
but they were always there.
Yeah,
I mean, they were always around. And lead singer married Paulina Poroskova.
I don't really like his
not
voice.
Not a bad thing at all.
Turn it up, Vic. Come on. Hold on me.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, it's magic.
Coming up next, Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
Oh, it's magic.
It's good.
Yeah.
You know it's true. Got a hold on you. Dun, dun. All right, that's enough. That's enough.
Okay.
That's enough. It's enough of magic. It's twisted and you can't come down. Where are the Cars from? Are they American?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, why do you say, oh,
I mean,
yeah?
I say, oh, yeah, but
an
yeah.
idiot question that was.
Yeah, they were American. One of the few at that era that were, actually.
Okay.
And Rick Ocasek was their lead singer, married a supermodel at the time.
Yeah,
Paulina
yeah.
Poroskova.
They're from Boston, it says here.
Yeah.
Oh, gross. They came out at the same time as Aerosmith. It was Aerosmith and the Cars out of the Boston scene. Who would make it big? And it turns out, yeah.
Aerosmith outsold them, but
slightly.
But the Cars had a nice run.
Yeah, not bad, I guess. Not bad. I guess they don't play anymore, huh?
They're all
Ocasek's
dead. Yeah.
Okay, it looks like several of them are dead. Benjamin Orr died in 2000 from pancreatic cancer.
Wow.
In 2007, Easton and Hawks, that's Elliot Easton and Greg Hawks, joined the New Cars. And then the surviving original members of the Cars reunited in 2010 to record an album. Following a short tour, the band once again went on hiatus. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2018 and performed at the ceremony. And then Ocasek died of cardiovascular disease in 2019 at age 75. Rick Ocasek, if I remember, he's like a real skinny person, right?
Painfully skinny.
Yeah, usually those guys don't die of heart attack or heart issues.
Well, you probably combine that with a fair amount of cocaine use over the years.
I could see that being
not that I know, but you would assume.
Yeah,
the whole band died young. Right. I think they weren't living on probiotics and jogging every morning.
He was one of those people who had it's like he was stretched out. Like his head was really long. Like you're painfully skinny is a good descriptor for it.
Kind of the Tom Petty gaunt look.
Yes, yeah, very similar to that. All right, let's see. Where were we in our sports day? We did talk some summer league. I guess now the shift to Las Vegas means hopefully
we'll get a Dylan Harper sighting.
At least we'll probably get 1, maybe 2 games out of him. You think?
If we get 2, that would be great. But I'd be surprised.
I think I'd be kind of surprised too. But I want to see what he's up to. I want to see what he's got.
I think we'll see enough. But yeah, I don't expect much. I mean, it's just this is not an environment to be truly successful, especially in this kind of situation. You're going to be going against grown-ass men who are desperate for a career. You're the second pick overall. Your path is laid. There's other dudes that are literally fighting for their life. So it's a tough environment to look good in, and if you do look good in that environment, it magnifies even more so. But you can also look really, really bad and not have it be very reflective of who you are, just because you're surrounded with 4 dudes that are either in it to get a job, and I have to showcase my abilities at every opportunity, or they've been around the block and understand you will get the job by starring in your role. And those two things compete when you're doing in these showcase things. So, it lends itself to lots of turnovers and ugly basketball.
What do you think they ask a guy like Dylan Harper to do, like before the game? Like, do you say, hey, man, what do we want to see out of you?
That's a good question, and I think everybody is tasked with a certain – you've got 3 things to do tonight, and I'm going to give you the time to do it, and you better go do it. And I would think Dylan Harper would be – your marching order is don't screw it up. Don't do anything stupid, and take your time.
I mean, how much of it is, hey – show us what you've got.
I think I wouldn't tell that to my number 2 pick. I might tell that to all of my undrafted dudes. Like, you're going to have to do something. My number 1 pick is, I know who you are. I've done my due diligence. Just don't do anything stupid, and let's not start any bad habits. Let's not begin with that. So go run the plays, and I will tell you if I have a problem.
Yeah. Corey says Ace Bailey looking pretty good in Summer League.
He had a nice outing. He's got the kind of game that translates to this chaotic environment, though. He's got give me the ball and get out of the way kind of mentality, and that's the kind of thing that thrives in a new team and an environment like this.
Well, he's also got the
but he's really good, though. This is not a surprise. The guy is supremely talented, so don't be shocked if he is that good.
He's just a loser.
But there's a neck-up issue that, you get the sense will eventually pan out, but the dude can play.
And also remember, like, he's playing against guys who will be in Europe in a month.
Well, I mean, still, he's 6'10", playing against some grown men at 17. He's a talented kid. There's a reason why Utah is willing to put up with all of this crap.
No doubt.
But eventually, character shines through.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll see.
When you get on the floor with equal talent, that's when it really starts to matter.
See. And he could overcome all that. He, again, was the best player in high school last year, more than Dylan Harper.
No, he's a loser. He's a loser.
We'll see.
You're a real crumb bum.
That's what I believe.
Listening to the Derek Baisley saga last night.
Yeah.
And he was on a podcast talking about how an agent got in his ear when he was a kid, and if he had it to do over again, he'd change everything that he had done. And I think that's reflective of, I hope, where Ace Bailey is in a couple years going, man, that I'm so embarrassed by that. I got in, I was a kid. This is a trusted guy who'd helped us out and gave us money when we didn't have any. And I thought I was doing the right thing, and it was just an embarrassing mistake by a kid. And when you hear Baisley say that kind of stuff, you hope that maybe this was just very bad advice that he followed as a child and maybe felt like it was wrong, but he owed it to this guy because he'd done stuff before. And you get away from it and you realize, man, I was just led astray. And to hear Baisley say it, I hope in the future you're going to hear the same thing from Ace Bailey.
Frank says Kevin Love getting bought out by the Jazz. I've heard that that's likely to happen. It wouldn't shock me. He obviously doesn't fit their timeline. I did see Kevin Love tweet out, never thought I'd be a math problem.
You live long enough. I mean, this dude's been floating around for a long, long time. The fact that his name is even involved in any kind of deal other than retirement papers is still.
But also, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, no doubt. But my gosh, I mean, why are you still around? There's something about that in the Miami Heat water that you just keep getting to play.
Yeah.
I mean, Haslam turned it into like a 25-year career with having played a total of like 30 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, but Kevin Love still got something. He's still a.
If you can shoot, you can stay in this league, and he
shoots and he rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
Defense is pretty much gone at this point. But if he can shoot and he can rebound, there's a spot for him.
There's always.
But it's just not. It's not in a place like Utah where you're trying to start a youth movement. But yes, in fact, there's probably a place for him for a team that's pretty decent.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like
Maybe.
I mean, if I were a team looking, especially if he gets bought out, if I'm the Lakers and I'm looking for depth,
I mean, I wouldn't put it past here. I mean, there's always a room for a guy who can shoot. I mean, you can hit a corner three, you can play.
Yeah, 36 years old.
His game's not predicated on athleticism. I mean, he's never been able to run by you. So that skill set's set in stone. You know what you're getting.
I would also not be shocked at all if we see Kevin Love with the Golden State Warriors. That's if I were to say where's he most likely to end up, feels like there.
I would, maybe. There's so many. I would just not err with that. I would be developing a guy. Because he's not going to play regardless.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have a guy on my bench that I'm getting better than a guy who's just taking time before he retires, especially on an average team. That's
but I feel like Golden State, LA,
I mean, it's the
those
perfect
teams
place
feel
for
like
him.
they've got something.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not against that, but at some point, get out of the way and let the next generation come. At some point, just you're a non-factor now, and you're just kind of hanging on at the end of your career. And if I was a GM, I would just look for just about anything other than that, just because I might actually find something.
Yeah,
you never know. And maybe if Golden State has some kind of pretense to a play-in and maybe playoffs, you do that. But
what if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Maybe if you think that's
you're
the kind of team that needs to go
on the door.
That's the kind of team that you end up with, not a team like that thinks they might be just barely above average. You really have to.
Oh
make
no, I think Golden State thinks they're better than that.
I hope they do, but I mean,
I think Golden State and LA believe they're better than that. I don't know if they're right.
Hope springs eternal, but yeah. I mean that. I think Cleveland, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Boston is a more appropriate landing spot for a guy like him that know they're in the playoffs, and he could make a separation. He could make a couple game difference. He might win you 3 games, so that matters to those teams.
Claymore said he's barely played the last 2 years, which is true.
Yeah,
but
mean, he's an end player.
He's about he's about a point and a rebound every other minute that he's on the floor. So if he plays 15, 18 minutes, he's 9 and 9.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah, I don't think he's a 9 and 9 guy anymore.
I mean, that's what he's literally been.
If you extrapolate the numbers, but I don't think he's capable of that more than once a week. He's the kind of guy that on a bad team, why would you have him? Other than he's a smart guy and he's not going to do anything dumb. You'd be looking to develop a guy. The minutes might matter toward the future. Where he's just filling space.
What I say all the time, I say it about Harrison Barnes, and the reason I love Harrison Barnes on this team is he's the only guy here who knows what winning is like. And
Harrison can still play.
I know, but I do think there's value to teams to have a guy in the room that has actually done something in his life,
like Cleveland. But because Golden State, those guys don't need that.
You're right. But because as good as Donovan Mitchell's been, he's never won a thing in his life. So it's good to have those guys.
And, if I was Orlando, I'd look at something like that. To kind of help you get along, but not for a middling team that full of stars that have been kind of around the block too. I'm always of the mind, maybe I can find a dude that turns into something decent over an 82-game span instead of him. And I don't even dislike Kevin Love. I think he's a solid player. But, like Claymore said, that boat sailed about 5 years ago.
The betting favorites to get Kevin Love are the Cleveland Cavaliers. How about that?
Well, I mean, it's a good place to finish up.
He's been there. They love him. He's won there. Yeah, that kind of makes some sense. All right, let's hit a break, and when we come back, I'm going to start the giveaways. I'm telling you now, Brigade Bar, you better start hitting those thumbs.
You rock and roll types at 9 o'clock. We got a good one for you.
If you're a rocker through and through, You better start those thumbs, man. I'm looking for what's a good number, Vic? 30 thumbs up today?
Do 30.
30 thumbs?
Yeah.
Give me 30 thumbs if you guys want this giveaway. Otherwise, I'm giving it to the radio listeners again. They're gonna have to do it. All right. I got to tell you guys about my friends over at L&S Pump Repair and Machine Shop. Guys, if you're in the oil and gas game, whether you're out there drilling on the Eagle Ford or managing saltwater disposal, listen up. Keeping your pumps running is a critical thing. We all know that. San Antonio is right here in the heart of Texas oil and gas industry. Over 90 oil and gas extraction businesses in the San Antonio, New Braunfels area. That means thousands of workers employed in the sector. And if you don't have reliable equipment and you're not getting your stuff serviced, you're wasting hours, man. L&S Pump Repair Machine Shop, your local trusted partner for all your pump repair needs. They specialize in everything from saltwater disposal pumps to heavy-duty H pumps, 24/7 on-site service. They don't just fix pumps. They keep your operation moving around the clock. Everything's stocked on site, so repairs happen fast. You're not having to wait around forever to get your parts in. If you got a knocking pump or low flow, L&S offers flat rate preventative maintenance so you avoid surprises and keep your pumps running at peak. Give them a call, 936-853-3010. That's 936-853-3810. Tell them you heard about them here on the Morning Huddle. That's L&S Pump Repair Machine Shop. Keep your flow strong, San Antonio.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like we do have a new trouble spot on the north side at 281 southbound San Pedro. Disabled vehicle off to the shoulder, still causing a little bit of a delay from Tacoma as we are full on into our morning rush hour. On 410 Frontage Road, westbound Austin Highway, that stall is taking up a main lane, right lane blocked. This stall at 410 eastbound Banter Road off to the shoulder, still causing delays from Calabria. And on Loop 410 northbound at WWI, disabled vehicle right shoulder blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Texas Department of Transportation. A heavy foot can cost you a heavy fine or more. Speeding is a factor in 1,500,000 crashes every year in Texas. So always follow the speed limit. And if there's bad weather or road construction ahead, slow down. Be safe. Drive smart. A message from TxDOT.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s.
Call Right Home Services.
Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. 210-444.
At Natural Bridge Caverns, the passage of time and moving water have carved out a massive underground creation. Hidden Wonders, our newest cave tour. Watch thousands of lights reveal otherworldly sculptures in a massive canyon with a sound and light show finale. Or visit the largest of our two caverns with a discovery tour, winding through majestic rooms with incredible formations. Above ground, top off your adventure with a zip along the sky rails on our towering ropes course. Choose your adventure at naturalbridgecaverns.com.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website at lawyerforus.com.
School's out, summer's in, and that vacation countdown is officially on. But what about your four-legged MVP? Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit in Selma has your furry family member covered. Daycare, boarding, grooming, and training, they've got it all. They're built for your pet's health, happiness, and tail-wagging good times. If you're in the military, your teacher, or your first responder, they've got barking good exclusive discounts. So go ahead, book that trip, hit the beach, crush your summer plans. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit has your pet in good hands. Because home away from home isn't just for humans. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits in Selma.
When it comes to keeping your pumps running smooth, L&S Pump Repair has you covered. 24/7 on-site service for saltwater disposal and pump repairs. From Quintaplex to H-Pumps, they've got parts ready and the skills to get you back in the game fast. Need a whole new pump package? L&S builds custom skid packages too. Don't let knocking pumps or slow flow slow you down. Call L&S Pump Repair 936-853-3810. Keep your flow strong, San Antonio.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, how did the summer Spurs look last night against the Los Angeles Lakers? We'll talk about it as now they head off to Las Vegas. Plus, with Dak Prescott saying he is fully healthy and ready to go for training camp, does that change your outlook for the Cowboys this upcoming season? We're talking about it on The Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The NFL lives right here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes I get a feeling, yeah. Morning, everybody. 7:45 here on the Morning Huddle. How about some Gunslingers tickets? Let's do Gunslingers Rattlers, the stupid crumb bum Arizona Rattlers.
You're a real crumb bum.
We got a family 4-pack, July 19th at the Freeman. Watch the Gunslingers kick the crap out of those stupid Rattlers. Got a family 4-pack for you. Caller number 5. You're going to win those tickets to the San Antonio Gunslingers game. Let's sling them guns, baby. Sling them, baby. It's a good time down there, the Gunslingers games. Have fun down there. I didn't know this was how things went in lady basketball, but Caitlin Clark and Nafisha Collier as the captains, they got to do like the
draft.
It's like the NBA tried this for a little while, and then James Harden got picked last 3 years in a row, and then suddenly that stopped happening.
Well, I think
for whatever reason.
I think there might still be something behind the scenes, but certainly not. I think LaMarcus was a last draft pick too one time.
Well, all I know is like James Harden 3 years in a row. It didn't matter how good of a season he was having.
Yeah.
I think the year he won the MVP, he was the last draft pick for the All. Like nobody wanted to be on his team, so that's always the thing. And I am curious how the draft would have gone had Caitlin not been a captain. Like I would have liked to seen how it would go if if she was in the pool where she would have been picked. But they took their players, and Aaliyah Boston and Brianna Stewart were the first 2 picks. Caitlin picked Aaliyah Boston, and Nafisha picked Brianna Stewart, and they swapped coaches. So I personally, I can't wait for the Lady Basketball All-Star Game. So that'll be July 19th, 10 days from now.
Mm-hmm.
So July 20th, we will be talking about it pretty much nonstop. So just so you guys are ready, that's going to be happening at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, home of the Fever.
That's home of Caitlin. That's the house that
Caitlin built. That's right. Because before Caitlin, basketball wasn't even a thing in Indiana. They didn't care about it at all.
You know, the best story about Indiana basketball was when the ABA decided on the teams that were going. Well, the NBA decided on the teams that were going to be able to come into the NBA. The Pacers were one of them, but the Pacers were so cash poor they had to have a telethon. They had a telethon.
What?
A telethon for the Indiana Pacers to come up with enough money to buy into the NBA. And they had kids like showing up with like buckets of nickels to just come up with just enough money to buy into the. No kidding. That was the era of the Pacers. So that's a state that they know. Just ask them. if they know basketball. They're going to tell you they do.
What's the hot tall chick's name?
Oh, from
Cameron Brink.
Yeah,
she didn't make the All-Star team.
What about Sophie, the Caitlin Protector, who is now the sex symbol for the league?
Oh yeah,
she's all over the place.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's because Cameron Brink still doesn't play. That's why she's still hurt.
She's doing fine.
Yeah, well, she's like walking around naked doing photo
That's
shoots.
what I'm saying. She's doing fine.
Yeah.
I'm all about her career choices.
Yeah, so she didn't make the. Well, who's the girl you're at?
Sophie, the personal protector for Caitlin, the one that came into.
Oh yeah, the defender.
Now there's like bathing. She's now the fame du jour. She's the.
No, she didn't make.
No,
the
I don't
team.
think she is. She's the goon.
No, she didn't make it.
But that's the good-looking goon.
She didn't make it. There's some decent.
She's our Kelly Olynyk.
There's some decent-looking gals on this team.
Which is how you make the All-Star team.
That's what I would think. That's what I always thought. But it looks like Kiki Iriafen. She's a pretty cute gal. Sabrina Unesco. I don't know if she's cute or not. I can't tell. She's a tough read for me. I still contest that Paige Beckers is kind of hot, although I don't think she's into guys like me. And Kelsey Plum continues to be cute as a button.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. So there you go. But they're on. Kelsey and Paige are on Team Collier. They're going against. Oh, and of course Angel is on Team Collier as well.
I'm liking Team Collier.
Nafisha, Brianna Stewart, Alicia Gray, Paige Beckers, Courtney Williams. Yeah, they're going to dominate.
Pretty good team.
Page buckets.
But yeah, that's right, baby. That's right. Yeah, Sophie Cunningham, not an all-star. Sorry,
She
friends.
is in my mind.
She's an all. Yeah, she's an all-star to like. Yeah, I mean, to us, she's a hero to us.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, the WNBA doesn't respect the real people who are making it work.
Game respects game.
Game recognize game. Juan says AJ must be on a lot of coffee. No coffee today. None for me. I've had no caffeine.
That's your natural state.
This is what my body just does.
There's that weird green stuff that you drink.
I did have I had my green drink today.
Okay.
I hate that stuff. It's so gross.
I like that stuff you get in Starbucks. What is it? The
matcha.
Matcha. I can never remember.
Yeah,
that stuff's good.
That tastes better than the green drink I'd take.
That's all I need to hear.
That green drink I take
drinking
gross.
Mud pies, man.
I don't
Not
like
for
it.
me.
I drink unsweet tea without a
with no
blemish.
sweetener.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
What about
That's for psychopaths.
You lemon?
Sometimes, but mainly just without it.
I hate when they give me lemon with my iced tea.
I love lemon with it.
I don't like that.
Are you kidding? It's good.
No,
if I don't have sweetener, I need lemon. I don't do just straight tea. I can't do it.
I can do it. Yeah.
I like to order my tea half and half.
I want it so sweet you can barely sink the spoon into it. The spoon will rest above the top. I want to be able to chip away my iced tea. I want it sweet.
Yeah, I know. I can't do that. I'll get the Beatus like Vic in there.
Yeah, then you'll be stuck like me.
Yeah.
Eating salad.
Then you'll be like, oh, I can't eat pizza.
Nope. Can't eat pizza.
What?
Yeah.
What a loser.
I know. I hate it.
A loser.
You're a real crumb bum.
Yeah. I couldn't live that life. I honestly, I think, how I was saying my wife, if she ever got into the zombie apocalypse, she was like, yeah, I would just die. I wouldn't be worth a damn. If I ever got that illness, and like I had to not eat good food, I would just die. Like I'd be like, well, I guess you got me, diabetes.
Yep, that's it. You get used to it.
Diabetes, take the wheel. That's what I'd say. And whatever happens, happens.
You say that though, you're taking a daily for your gout.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's because gout hurts.
Well, so does the Beatus.
No, that'll just kill me.
Well, no, you start losing focus. You've seen him in there.
I know, but I mean, if it's not like
it's not like there's anything wrong with me.
It's not like the gout will like I'm gonna die from gout. It just hurts. Like if gout was actually gonna kill me, I mean that might be a problem.
But you're taking it even though it won't.
But Rob, I'm not changing my diet. That's
what I'm
the
saying.
whole point.
But you took a pill to do it, and if
they had a pill you could take,
they do.
Yeah, Jardiance. Yeah.
Okay, but it let you eat whatever you want.
No.
See, so it's not even the same.
I was told the GLPs
My
let
pill,
you do whatever you want.
My gout
anytime you
pill
want
lets
to.
me continue to drink beer and eat red meat.
Well,
So
the GLPs make you not hungry, so you just don't want to eat. That's how you lower your sugar and how you lose weight because you're just not hungry.
I'm lowering my A1C.
Yeah.
I like how they always have fat gals singing those songs and
I lost weight.
you have to imagine they were fatter before. I feel like, and I guess maybe if you're marketing to fat people, you don't want some skinny bitch telling you how to get skinny.
That makes
but
sense.
for me, I see a big girl saying, like, does this stuff really work?
Mm-hmm.
How much does it work? Because you're saying your A1C is lower, but you're still.
Mine is, yeah. Well, my A1C used to be like 8.
How much did you used to weigh?
It's
About
never been big.
240.
You were 240?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
38-inch. Well, about 5 years ago.
And what do you weigh now?
175.
Damn.
And it's been consistent.
I don't remember you ever at 240.
Yeah. I was super.
You're a great big fat person.
I had a 38-inch waist.
Like Hank Hill.
Yeah. Now I'm a 34.
Dang. Cobra says gout does hurt. Gout's the worst thing in the world. It's it's the worst disease known to man. And luckily they solved it before cancer because everyone realized.
I've seen pictures of that. I've seen pictures of the gout, and it looks
have to deal
awful.
with the gout.
I knew a guy who didn't take his gout medicine, and he grew like a big softball on his elbow. It was so gross. I was like, man, that's why I take my medicine, man. All right, we're halfway there. Gout. Morning Huddle 94.1.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association.
The International Hot Rod Association Outlaw Nitro Series is back. 5 events, 4 locations. 1 explosive season. Top fuel, funny cars, promos. You are in the stands. Get your tickets now at IHRA.com. That's IHRA.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Term supply available at OurRealSuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in San Antonio without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in San Antonio for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text EARN to 64,000. San Antonio is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in San Antonio and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text EARN to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text EARN to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text EARN to 64,000.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have 0 chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
4th of July savings are here at the Home Depot, so it's time to get your grilling on. Pick up the Traeger Pro Series 22 pellet grill and smoker, now on special buy for $389, was $549. Smoke a rack of ribs or bake an apple pie, this grill is versatile enough to do it all. This summer, no matter how you like your steaks, your barbecues are guaranteed to be well done. Celebrate 4th of July with fast, free delivery on select grills right now at the Home Depot. Subject to availability.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super-sized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff.
Now we can chill, Mom.
L&S Pump Repair Machine Shop, your go-to for saltwater disposal and pump repairs, on-site service 24/7, parts on hand, and full pump packages ready to roll. Call L&S 936-853-3810. Keep your flow strong, San Antonio.
Are you ready for the all-new Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow and Fire? Come watch your favorite Hot Wheels Monster Trucks fly, crash, and smash. Thanks to Good to Grow, kids' ticket prices half off. Coming July 26th and 27th to Frost Bank Center in San Antonio. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still working that accident at 151 westbound at Ingram. We've got the right lane still blocked. The entrance, though, has reopened. 281 southbound Brook Hollow, disabled vehicle now off to the right shoulder. Little bit of a delay from Redland Road. On Loop 410 eastbound, the connector to get onto I-10, that broken down vehicle is blocking the ramp. It's causing about a 20-minute delay, slow from Marbach. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs and general manager Brian Wright continue to round out the Spurs roster. Last night, a big trade with the Washington Wizards, bringing in big man Kelly Olynyk. The Wizards received Malachi Brenham and Blake Wesley. Also a 2026 second-round pick. The Spurs rounded out the California Summer League with a loss to the Los Angeles Lakers. Losing on a 15-5 run, the Spurs head to Las Vegas. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hump day. That's right, baby. 8:02 on the Morning Huddle.
Halfway through the halfway.
Oh, we're halfway there. Whoa! Living on a prayer. How many thumbs up do we got here, Vic?
Let's see. Oh, I can't see on there. I gotta look over here.
Give me.
Are we getting individuals, or does, like, if someone threw down 5?
No, they have.
Five,
I don't want. One? They have to be. They have to like the video. They can't just put a thumbs up in the chat.
I know that's what everybody.
I know
doing.
that's not how it works. That doesn't help us.
So I only got 13, now 14. I helped.
13?
I helped out. Yeah, everybody's doing it the wrong way. Not in the chat. Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, 14 actually.
I added one.
Man, you guys are.
I'm logging as my wife, and I'll make.
I thought
15.
I added one, so now.
No, I don't. Don't help them out.
All right.
Don't help them out.
14 now.
They got
Did we already give away? Did we have a gift card to that Greek place, or was that yesterday?
We gave away that yesterday. Yeah.
If we had another one.
I tried to give it away to.
I want that.
Yeah. I tried, but no, didn't work out. Didn't work out. We do have Monsters of Rock tickets to give away.
And that's not even the biggest show
we got. That's not even the biggest show we got. I'm trying to give away this show in the 9 o'clock hour to the Brigade Bar, but they don't want it.
A huge band out of Seattle is coming back to San Antonio.
That's right. And we've got Hot Wheels Monster Truck Live tickets as well. Sunday, or Saturday. Be there. Or die. Oh yeah, you get to choose July 26th or 27th.
How many monster truck jams have you been to?
Probably one or two. I used to go to the Astrodome and watch them.
Probably same tour that would come through here in like January of every year.
It was just all I remember is
my boys loved it. It was one of those annual things for 10 years.
Super loud.
Get your earpieces in and just go watch giant trucks flip on their backs like turtles.
Gravedigger. Bigfoot.
I got a chance to drive one of those about 20 years ago. They were coming into town, and I was across the street, so they invited us out to go take a lap. That's not fun.
Driving it?
No,
it's because you think it is, and it's a ridiculous amount of power, but it's not scary. But you can't see anything. You're driving on this platform.
Yeah. No, I get that.
You're the closest thing you can see on the ground. Now they have video cameras they have cameras in even way back then, so you can see what was going on. Vehicle, but you can't see anything for like 100 feet in front of your vehicle. You can't see anything. It's a disconcerting thing because you can't see, like when you're going to go up and over a ramp, you don't even see the ramp. The ramp's like way down there, and you don't even know when you're going to hit it.
Yeah,
it's a very disconcerting. It's a true art to drive that thing.
Well, and also like those trucks, you're supposed to they're built to be crashed.
Yeah, and it's a very soft kind of spongy ride. It's like nothing I've ever done, and I don't think I'd have a great thrill doing it. Yeah. I'd much rather be in like a race car, something equally as dangerous, but a little bit more feel for the road than that thing. I felt like I couldn't see it, like I was driving a plane, but wheels were on the ground.
Jeez.
Well, what was
that? That's highlights of me doing it right there. That was me right there.
Oh, you did the flips?
I did the back flips.
Damn.
Nice little tires, man.
I didn't mean to.
I'm trying to find out.
No, the one I was in, dude, was taller than that. I had to get in a ladder, like a literal 8-foot ladder to get into it. It was not Gravedigger. It was something else. I have a picture, but it was something akin to Gravedigger.
Gravedigger, Bigfoot. I'm trying to remember who the other one was.
They had 3 of them, and it wasn't Gravedigger or Bigfoot. It was the third. And the guy was given test drives.
Damn. Bulldozer?
I'll have to go dig through.
El
Toro Loco.
It might have been something. I think it was cow related. I think there might have been horns on the truck.
I think that it might have been El Toro Loco then. There was a monster truck called Barefoot that was the knockoff of Bigfoot.
Oh,
I hated Barefoot. Yeah. Like I think it should have been outlawed that they shouldn't have let Barefoot compete.
For trademark infringement?
Yeah, it was just such a blatant ripoff. At least Gravedigger looked different. So like you could always tell Bigfoot and Bigfoot looked like a truck and Gravedigger looked like an SUV, back in the day. Do you remember the Jimmy? They had the trucks that were called Jimmys.
Oh yeah,
the Chevy Jimmy.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It looked like a big jacked up Jimmy. So at least you could tell them apart. Barefoot looked just like knockoff Bigfoot. It was red Bigfoot. It's like, dude, come up with your own gimmick, bro. Do something different.
You went much deeper into it than I did.
Well, yeah, man. I went to the rallies.
My mom. Did you have T-shirts? Did you cheer for one over the other?
Well, yeah, I always cheered for I cheered for Gravedigger. But my mom, we used to go to the mud races.
That's an entirely different thing.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite thing to go to though. It was like it was like these crummy cars on a mud track just slamming into each other. That's what I like to do. I don't know if that's legal anymore.
Oh, you can still. There's still mud tracks.
What's that track outside of San Antonio on the way to on the way to Seguin?
It's lived a lot of lives.
It's
It's come
abandoned
and gone
now, right?
many times over the years.
It's abandoned now.
Every 4 or 5 years, somebody will go buy it, clean it up, and try it for a season, and it just doesn't hang.
It doesn't take. Huh?
I don't think that the era of the outlaw tracks around here. I think those just about done.
Man,
too bad.
It's a damn shame.
Across the hall, over the news rats, Trey Ware, his dad was a well-regarded race car driver.
Really?
Yeah. Ricky Ware and his race
Ricky
cars.
Ware?
Yeah.
No wonder he was the coolest, man.
Yeah, the last time we were there, Trey did some drag racing there, and he took me for a run in a car.
Yeah, the Ware family had some race cars back in the day. Yeah.
Trey drove one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a race car driver.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, listen, who knew? Who knew? Yeah, I always see that track. I wonder what they do there, but then it looks like there's
not much
nothing
lately.
happens
It's
there.
probably been 15 years since.
In Vegas, they have the big NASCAR track out on the outskirts of town, and they do the race there once a year. But I was like, how do they keep this thing open?
Well, you bring in one time 200,000 people, and it kind of covers your nut.
Well, they also do that the EDC festival out there, which is like the world's biggest rave, where people just go out there and do drugs and have sex on the NASCAR track,
dance in the desert
for a whole weekend. And it's like, yeah, I mean, that's how you pay for things, I guess. All right.
Okay.
Good for you guys. Good for you guys. All right. Let's see where we wanted to go next. We've been talking.
Got a new Spur.
We do have a new Spur, Kelly Olynyk, who we talked a little bit about earlier in the show. I'm not sure how much of a role he plays. Like, I think he's certainly a good guy to have for depth, and he's certainly going to give more than Malachi Branham or
Blake
Wesley were going to give. But it does feel a little bit repetitive with having brought in Cornette.
Well, we've gone here is one thing that is a change that we, with Pop and his acquisition of talent, didn't care about height. It didn't matter to him. He just wanted dudes that could do a job. And you look by Mamu and Bassie, those guys were undersized bigs who could do a lot of things, but at the end of the day, they'd get overpowered. That thought process is gone.
Well,
Luke Cornette at 7'1", and Olynyk at 6'10", but he plays like a 7-footer. They have, like we've talked about before. Now these are big guys that do big guy things, at least in the more truer old NBA sense. That they're capable of playing in the paint. They're post-up dudes. Olynyk's a heck of an offensive rebounder. And Cornette is a drop step big that'll throw a skyhook over you. There's a shift. We haven't had two guys like this in a minute.
Now, we talked yesterday about Bassie and I said if they've got room for him on this team, I think this probably is the end of him.
Probably put the end to and if it did, that opens up. We have at least one more roster spot now that was going to be occupied by a contract by Blake or Malachi if the one was going to stay. So that there's more room now on this team. So if you were looking to add something else, now there's another spot.
Well, it seems like a guy like Bassie, this move says we don't need guys like you anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he's done for the Spurs. I do think he's a 15 guy because he has earned and he can do some things, but he's the guy that's going to survive out of this, and Mamu probably deserved to go someplace else. But I do think that they've opened the door for at least one more guy, and it's going to be interesting to see which direction they go. Are they holding a spot back for a summer league guy to kind of make a dual contract?
Well, after what you said,
I was so impressed with this Jones Garcia guy. I mean, there's a log jam at guards, but they just got rid of two of them. So there might be some space, and maybe they've seen enough to pull the trigger and get rid of those two guys. So I think he's an excellent basketball player. If he's an NBA guy, I don't know. I saw about 15 minutes worth of very solid G League quality basketball that could translate to the league that I did not expect to see. But I do expect the Spurs will bring in another free agent. It might be this kid. I doubt it. But I do think there's now room.
Yeah.
But this kid could get a two-way or just the G League deal that he deserves.
I'm curious to see how the roster shapes out. Like, I'm curious to see – I don't really – like, I get, like, you got to carry 15. I'm more worried about who are your top
Well,
10,
we're going to run
11.
9. I mean, that's what every team runs 9 guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think we already know who those guys are.
Yeah, and I think that Olynyk is hovering around 9-10. He's going to play. There'll be nights he doesn't, but there's going to be nights where he gets 20 when fouls are up there. So,
which is exactly what Bassey was.
Right, and so they're rounding out. So now we're just looking at pieces and parts and whether we want a guy that we can rely on because of his veteran status and we know exactly what we're getting, or they're going to roll the dice on another young guy that has a lot of upside and a few faults. We'll see over the next couple of weeks. But my odds-on favorite right now, he's already on the roster. It's that Jones Garcia kid. It looks like someone that could actually make a difference at some point.
Well, I think obviously they don't play the same position, but it does feel like Olynyk coming in makes minutes tougher for Keldon Johnson because now Sohan's most of his minutes are going to be at the 4, and so it's going to be him and Harrison Barnes at the 4, and now I don't know where Keldon's minutes come from.
Well, he's a 3. He'll be the third 3.
The third 3 isn't going to get a lot of playing time.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be part of the 9 or 10, but yeah, there's not a lot there.
Because
Vassell's still safe. He's going to get him a lot more minutes than Keldon. Keldon's going to have to fight for him.
Wemby, Barnes, Devin, Harper, Fox, Castle, Cornette, I guess Champagnie, Sohan.
I thought you already mentioned Sohan. You didn't?
I did not. No. So
better leave him early. I think he could end up starting with this lineup a lot.
Okay, so Wemby, Barnes, Devin, Harper, Fox, Castle, Sohan. That's probably your keys. At Cornette, that's your key 8.
There's your 8.
Then I guess your Champagnie and
there's your
Keldon or 9 and 10 or Olynyk.
Well, Olynyk is going to hover around the edges, but
then maybe so are Champagnie and Keldon.
Well, I think Champagnie has proven to be he's going to play a role because he can put the ball on the floor and score, but he won't be the starter. And Keldon's that 6-man kind of mentality. I think you've named it.
I guess that's it. So, and then they'll bring in some guy to be the 12th. And
there's somebody else out there that's going to end up being a Spur. It could be Riley Minix that ends up getting a pull up, but we've just seen him play a couple of minutes. I can say he looked like a guy who's worth the effort.
And the other thing is, we as much as we put into summer league and like you say, oh man, this guy looked great. Often it's think about what it is at training camp in the NFL. They already have an idea of what these guys can do much more than like seeing a few minutes against G League scrubs are going to tell us. So, I mean, they may think that Harrison Ingram is awesome. They may think that Carter Bryant is awesome. And they don't really care what these games look like. But
I think some guys,
we don't know that.
No, I think Harrison Ingram has to do entirely different things than rookies have to do. There is a list of a menu of things that Harrison was tasked with getting better at, and he better show that he's gotten better at those things. And some of the things he did look good. Others he has not gotten better at shooting. His form ain't there. He doesn't jump. He shoots it off. It's an off-time jump shot, just not pretty. For rookies, just show you're not out of your depth. Just act like you've been there before. You don't, we know you got a lot to learn. Just act like you can play basketball with these guys. And Carter Bryant has done that, but it is very evident that there's a long way to go.
Yeah. Jose says Vassell's always hurt. Yeah, I don't know. He played 64 games last year. It's funny that people complain about him being always hurt and
not Wemby.
Like, it's because we know Wemby, when he's not hurt, is great, so we don't complain.
And we also know a healthy Devin's not a bad Devin.
No, you're right. I mean, ironically, the only guys that were healthy all year last year were Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul, the your AARP guys. So it's sometimes it's ironic how that works out. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to give away those monster truck tickets. I still have Monsters of Rock tickets and one more pair of tickets, some rock and roll tickets I'm going to give away in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll see where I give them away. We'll do that next. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
I hope you woke up this morning and washed yourself clean underneath a Connecticut water softened shower. If that's you, carry on. You have done things appropriately, taking care of your home, your family, and your pets, as you should. If you did not, listen close. I know you probably aspired to a Connecticut. Maybe you thought it was way out of your price range, because we all know it's the very best designed and built in the United States. This kind of water we're dealing with South Texas, whether you're bringing it up out of the aquifer or bringing it out of a well, it makes some good sweet tea, but I'll tell you what, there's stuff in it. There's a lot of that limestone and leftovers that while it might add some flavor, does not add anything to your home. It gets stuck in your pipes. Think about how quickly your appliances age, your ice makers, all that crud that gets stuck up in there. If you've ever seen any white powder on a glass, if you've ever seen any residual limestone dust anywhere after water has dried up, you got a problem. Kinetico solves that. It only works when you do. You're going to use less salt. You're not going to even plug in your Kinetico water softener. It's going to last and last and last. I have never once had a problem with my Kinetico. No, results vary, but I can just tell you from personal experience, I have a great warranty. I don't want to have to use it. I never have. I hope that happens for you. But if it's time to get a Kinetico, this is what you got to do. 656-PURE is the number. KineticoSA.com for all the details. You call them today, you're going to get 90 days free. You're going to find out what I'm telling you is true. They've also got money in your old water softener up to $400 with approved credit. You got 24 months with no interest. And then finally a gift. That is a reverse osmosis drinking station they're going to put at your sink. They got the core to match yours. No more water bottles in your future. I'll tell you what, now's the time to get the very best water softener you can get this part of the world. It's Kinetico. Call them today. I know you're going to thank me later.
94.1. In part by Las Palapas, ProStar Home Care Services, Array, the College of Healthcare Professionals, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases, we do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Circa Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million, pick 5 games against the spread each week. 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Guys, don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at Centergenics and Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with San Antonio's leading experts in men's health. Now it's easier than ever with the new Centergenics Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you won't find anywhere else. Download now or book your appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Level up your summer projects with 4th of July savings on top brand cordless power tools from the Home Depot. Whether you're working on a fence, a planter box, or a new workbench, get the power and runtime you need with the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2 toolkit from the Home Depot for only $99 was $139. Get 4th of July savings on the cordless power you need to make summer projects easier than ever right now at the Home Depot.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, how did the summer Spurs look last night against the Los Angeles Lakers? We'll talk about it as now they head off to Las Vegas. Plus, with Dak Prescott saying he is fully healthy and ready to go for training camp, does that change your outlook for the Cowboys this upcoming season? We're talking about it on The Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
I like the way you move. I like the way you
Thank
move.
the mighty Iris.
Yeah.
A little bit of breakfast.
I like the way.
Has a little kick in it,
Ooh,
doesn't
I'll
it?
tell you what, this kind of gets out. I got a little bit of,
Yeah.
Got some oomph.
little bit of,
Little oomph.
little pepper for you. My face is sweating.
It pica.
Scott Frost. Back,
You mean the national champion head coach of UCF?
Yes,
That's Scott Frost?
Yes. Remember he bailed on Central Florida after they won their
Yeah,
championship.
they won the title. I have
the
the t-shirt
national
to prove it.
title. What were you in Africa?
No, I have an Aggie t-shirt that has the national title too, so I have two.
Did you get that in Zimbabwe?
Well, no, actually, Scott Frost printed up national championship shirts when they went 10-0 and didn't get invited to it.
So stupid.
Wow.
It's such a. I mean.
Hey, they're undefeated.
Yeah, it's just loser mindset. I go back to it like I just can't. That is I'm not even going to say what it is, but it's
he's one of those guys that if you like Scott Frost, you love him. You know what I mean? There's no in between on Scott Frost. If you like him, you love him, and if you don't like him, you despise him. You don't want to be in the same room with him.
Well, after leaving for Nebraska, he's now come full circle. After leaving to Nebraska and failing miserably at Nebraska, he's back 16-31 over 4 seasons.
Back doing what?
He's back at Central Florida.
Oh, he's back at UCF. I thought he was saying he was back at Nebraska. I was like,
No. But at the press conference, he said, I didn't want to leave UCF. I always said I would never leave unless it was someplace you could go and potentially win a national championship, like a real one.
Not a fake T-shirt one.
Not a made-up Aggie championship, like a real.
Oh, why are you choosing violence, dude?
I'm just kidding,
thinking
Rob.
the last
Just
century.
kidding.
Now, I will overlook, and you could have brought up the plaque that we gave Jimbo that had national champion already written on it, and he was just going to have to fill in the date.
Oh, God.
We did give him that, yes. Anyway, go ahead. Carrying on.
Did he just crossed it out and put Florida State?
No, he
and put
crossed
the
it out and put
on.
$75 million.
That's right.
That's winning.
$75 million championship.
Your national championship is one thing. Mine's entirely different.
I'm the national champion of getting paid not to work.
Paid to go away.
That's right, Bubba. He says, I got tugged in a different direction to go to try to help my alma mater, and I didn't really want to do it. It wasn't a good move. I'm lucky to get back to a place where I was a lot happier. Boy, you know how he says, don't take the wrong job. That's what I learned. Make sure you're working for and around good people. Now, Frost was hired by Bill Moose, who retired in 2021. Then Trev Alberts.
Oh, it goes full circle.
The AD hired to replace him. They had a strained relationship, according to sources, before Alberts fired Frost. Then after he hired Matt Rule as Frost's replacement, he left Nebraska to come back and run
Fighting Texas Aggies.
Texas A&M
department. That's right. And then not speak to Buzz for a year and fire him.
But he did say, we had it rolling in a good direction back in 2017. I'm proud of the whole group. What they did positioned us in a place where we could be considered to move up a league. And, he's glad to be back. Well, you know how bad you have to stink at your alma mater?
It's not just his alma mater. Wow. He was the national champion quarterback for Nebraska.
Yes.
He won. it's the equivalent of like Major Applewhite completely dissing Texas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not quite Vince Young level of talent, but Major Applewhite should never have to buy lunch in Austin for the rest of his life. And Scott Frost should be able to go across Nebraska, walk into any diner, and every Nebraska Big Red fan would buy him lunch. And you have burnt that bridge?
Yeah.
Dude, that's the kind of, like I said, you either love Scott Frost or you despise him.
But here's why I think he did it. I think he was so bad as
terrible.
the coach at Nebraska.
Yeah, he was
that
terrible.
They were already like, Nebraska fans like, whatever, man, get rid of this dude.
No, he thought that he was, what was their coach, Tom?
Osborne.
He went in there acting like Tom Osborne with a Scott Frost record. Like, dude, you can't beat Tom Osborne. That guy walked on water and was going to be senator. You're just a bad football coach.
Nebraska football will never be what it was.
It's too bad. But, you know, there was thought that the realignment might allow them the opportunity to get some money and go back to what it was. But I think they're a victim of their past, but they're also a victim of locale. It's just really hard to recruit superstars to go play football in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Nobody wants to do it
anymore. It's just really,
man.
really hard. And you're talking about they're not even in a state where they can get homegrown stuff. So they had, you know, even in their heyday, they got their speed out of New Jersey and Florida, and they drafted linemen, and it was enough to go win. Or they, you know, they recruited those Nebraska corn-fed boys to go play, and
they
it's
also
just
played
not
they played a gimmick offense, so you didn't have to get like.
Well, back then it wasn't a gimmick. Now it would be. Now a wishbone power eye, that's gimmick, and you know that's the kind of guys that they're growing out there. Big offensive linemen. It's just unfortunate, but that's such as the times. It's just at one point, Army and Harvard were the cream of the crop.
Yep.
It just times change.
Times have changed, and Nebraska. I'm not saying Nebraska always has to stink. But Nebraska's never going to be a national championship.
They don't
football
have,
program
you
again.
can be a successful program in a small, like Oklahoma State is always on the verge of success because they can recruit out of Dallas. They can go into big metropolitan, high-end football areas and go get kids. Where's Nebraska? Where are they going to go in Nebraska that they're not already competing against local universities with kids that would much rather play at Purdue than Nebraska? And those are the kids they're fighting for.
Nebraska now, the new reality for Nebraska is, in a good year, you're like Iowa.
Yes.
Like,
I think Texas State has a better future potentially than Nebraska does because they can reach up to Dallas, they can reach into Houston, they can reach into San Antonio, where kids that want to play at home and still play in a big-time conference. Nebraska, you can recruit the hell out of Lincoln. You can own everybody in Omaha. That's 2 starters. Now you're up in Chicago and you're in other football areas that I'm going to play in Illinois. I'm not going to go to Nebraska to play.
Nebraska will always get better players than places like Texas State, but
not any. I'm just saying about 15 years when you could put the moniker of a big-time conference and you don't have to go anywhere. You can stay home and play.
Again, you're still living in a world where the Pac-12 means something.
Well, it doesn't now. I'm just saying in about 10 years when they build this thing back up, when the TV money pays off and suddenly San Jose State is the new UCF, and they can put together but we're
never
a
going to be
long
the
way.
Big Ten.
No, but what I'm saying is Nebraska's fortunes are set.
Yes,
and
Nebraska is a mid-level Big Ten
and
program.
Texas State has the opportunity now to utilize the deeply richer recruiting grounds than Nebraska. I mean, you're the head coach at Texas State. You can drive 45 minutes in any direction and put together a pretty good starting team.
But there's still going to be 4-star guys that that just want to play in the Big Ten because they want to go to the NFL versus.
I think there might be a few, but
like Texas State, even in the Pac-12, Texas State is still going to get combed over Texas products.
But even that is better than the top 5 in Nebraska is what I'm getting at. The recruiting budget for Nebraska is going to rely on crumbs from other states and the very best they can pull. And used to, you could be a Nebraska type and go get the best running back out of New Jersey, and they were happy to go to Nebraska because they were going to be on big-time program on TV every weekend and win 10, 12 games and play for a national title. Now it's 6-5. I can get 6-5 at Rutgers. You know, I can stay around the house, and I think that's where Nebraska ran into problem. NIL won't solve it. It's just going to keep them up with the Joneses.
Yep. Which is unfortunate, but
that's such is life.
I still think in the long term, this exact same thing that's happened to Nebraska is going to end up happening to Notre Dame. It's going to end up happening to Penn State.
Well, as long as Notre Dame keeps the national brand, Penn State's a much more likely candidate.
Like, to me, what Ohio State's been able to do is so fascinating because them and Michigan are real, and Notre Dame, I suppose. Those are the three brands that are in that part of the world, like that are Midwest schools that have remained somewhat relevant. And Michigan's gone through long stretches where they weren't relevant, mind you.
They weren't relevant because they couldn't beat or would beat, and that's all that matters. You know, you win those games.
Well, I mean, but they had years where they couldn't even make it to a bowl game. Right. Like they were in the dumps until Harbaugh came there. But almost every other decent football program is along a coast. Yeah. And it didn't used to be that way. When I was a kid, it was like Nebraska was a huge deal. I'll tell you another team that's got a real chance of going that way is Oklahoma.
Yeah, they still have access to such recruiting grounds that Nebraska doesn't.
But this is it's the same. When Nebraska left the Big 12, they did it for the same reason Texas A&M did, which was they didn't like sharing, or they didn't like getting the leftovers from Texas and Oklahoma. They didn't like being looked at as second-class citizens. So they went to a different world where, unfortunately, the money was better. They're treated like equal citizens.
In the Big 12 you're talking about?
Yes. Well, no, in the Big 10.
Well, when they left.
Yeah, when they left the Big 12, they went to the Big 10 where they're treated fine, but the level of football now is so good that you're never going to win it. I say this about A&M too. Had A&M stuck around in the Big 12, conference titles were coming. Like they could have done all the football things that they wanted to do, whereas in the SEC, is A&M ever going to be a top 4 football program in the SEC ever? Yeah. Like you really believe that?
Yeah.
I don't. I just think that there's the old money SEC programs like the Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, like it's LSU. They have an established culture of winning. They have a history of championship
football. So did
football.
Nebraska.
And
you're talking about teams that are collapsing, and in the next breath you're saying other teams won't. The economics have changed, and
the economics haven't changed.
That's an asinine, ridiculous statement to make about any institution that invests the kind of money. And A&M's just one of 50 that are investing the hundreds of millions of dollars. And in this age where you can literally go buy a team, Texas Tech is going to be a force.
No.
Yeah, they are. Wait till you see. You say that now, you giggle.
They're going to be a force in the Big 12
over the next 3 to 4 years. When you see the money and the recruiting classes that they're bringing in, you can't help but just get better. Now, there's other things that have to remain constant to do that, but just look at how you can now go buy players. Texas Tech, and the best example of this is a sport that no one even cared. Their softball team, they spent $1 million, and they bought themselves a championship team. Now, they ended up losing, but they went from 0 to 60. And then look around other schools that have the wherewithal to just go buy a team. And they're, even as much as Tech is spending, it's a drop in the bucket to what A&M and Texas and Ohio State are spending. Now more than ever, you can buy a title. It's not about old money. New money matters now. And those that can thrive in this new money environment, you can see growing. And the old schools that didn't will go the way of Nebraska if they just expect, well, that's who we are. We get those guys. No, you don't. No, you don't. People will stay places and make more money for 1 or 2 years than traveling and waiting their turn.
I think more than ever, the teams that have won titles in the last 5 or 10 years are going to be the same teams that keep winning titles.
Well, that's a good statement because they're in the conferences that are going to win a title. Yeah. But the recruiting balance now is easier to shift than it ever has been.
I disagree. Because now
the team that you just said, A&M will never win. You know, right now they have the number 2 class. You just said they'll never win.
That's what they will never be a top 4, consistent top 4 program in the SEC.
Well, I mean, there's 16 teams. Nobody is going to remain consistent. Neither will Texas. Alabama will fall off eventually too. It's crazy to expect.
But if you take a running 10-year balance, I'm saying A&M will never be in that top quarter.
I disagree wholeheartedly, but I can't tell you that any of those teams can guarantee that. The rotation of a coach will change the balance, but we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. Talent will flow to these schools no matter what. It's just.
But that's all the SEC schools.
Yes, all of them.
And
all of them.
But the ones that have a history of
Well,
winning
no,
are
it's not
more
all
likely
even,
to be
even
keep
A&M,
winning.
who doesn't have a history of winning, right now has the second best recruiting class. Not only for 26, they have the number 1 recruiting class going into 27, and there's still more money to be spent.
A&M's had top recruiting classes my whole life.
So has Texas, and they went through a decade of suck. The recruiting is only 80% of it. It's the underground stuff that Texas has learned matters almost as much. I just refuse to accept that Penn State has as much. They're just
Penn State's never going to win a national title.
You say that they have before, and they will again.
They won't. They won't. That time is done.
It's those kind of black and white statements that will come up and bite you, because that is, in this era, it is so easy to become Arizona State. 2 dudes change it.
What did Arizona State do?
Well, they had a run, is what I'm saying. You don't know what's coming.
They won a crumb bum conference that got guaranteed a bid.
But
if Arizona State said, we're joining the SEC, Arizona State would be Mississippi State tomorrow.
But they had a run with a couple of dudes that showed up out of nowhere.
That's so different than being a team that can consistently compete in the SEC or the Big Ten.
Consistency matters. And there's probably, of the 50 teams that are out there, there are 20 that are always going to be there. And the other 30 are going to come and go, up and down. But consistency matters. But you can see a radical shift over 2 or 3 years. One dude shows up in Lubbock, a former oil billionaire, and suddenly every college transfer in the country shows up in Lubbock because they're going to make $1.5 million to play. It's going to happen. Not just Lubbock's the example. It's going to happen at a big-time school. Eventually, there's going to be a big time, like OU is going to have a dude, and suddenly 22 dudes show up, and they're going to win a title.
Oklahoma State had that dude for years and years, T. Boone Pickens.
This is a different world now. Now you can do it legal. T. Boone was doing it when they couldn't talk about it. Now, when everybody else has T. Boone picking money, they can't keep up.
Yeah. I just don't. I really think the haves are more likely to keep, and
I think there's 50 teams that will always be there, but
I think 50 is an absurd number.
Well, I'm talking about Big 10 total teams, Big 12 total teams, and a couple of ACCs and independents. There's 50 universities that are always going to have the top 25 will always have these 50 schools, with an exception of 2 or 3, and the top 10 will have, of the 30 schools that are the cream, the top 10 will always have 10 of those 30.
I could make a list right now of 10 schools, and I'd with about 90% certainty say that in the next 10 years, the 10 national titles will come from those 10 schools.
That's a safe assumption, yeah.
So, all this talk about 50,
who
cares about Arizona State? Arizona State will never, ever win a football title.
I'm not counting them, but I'm saying every year there's an Arizona State that can pop up for a year or two because they're going to buy the players that'll get them there. We're looking at Alabama, who's got a resurgence. LSU's always going to recruit, but so are the other schools who are going to get the crumbs, because now guys don't wait. If I'm not playing now, I'm leaving. And that means there's a drain on talent. There's guys that are in a lot of different places that they'd have never been. And when that happens, it balances out. If I'm not playing, I'm leaving. And that's backup quarterbacks have always been the difference. Now you can go get yourself a quarterback.
All right. Vic's giving me the break the stick thing. He's like, go to break the stick. I got to tell you guys. I got to tell you about Karbach Brewing. My good friends over at Karbach, brewing up some of the finest beer in our great state of Texas. That's a great recruiting tool, by the way, that all the Texas schools have. We got Karbach here. You can get that in Nebraska? I don't think so, Bubba. And there's something for everybody in Karbach's lineup. If you're a hophead like me, the Hopadillo is a great beer. That's their flagship IPA. Right now you can get the Hopadillo Imperial. That's their double dillo, 9.9% ABV. A lot of that hop kick right there in your face. Crawford Bock, Ziegenbach, great year-round beers, and their best sellers, the Love Street. That's their Kolsch-style blonde. And Eric Warner, their head brewer, literally wrote the book on how to brew Kolsch. That's his take on it. One of the finest beers you can find, friends. And they always have great seasonals as well. The Rhubarb is available now. Nice little fruity poolside beer. And Ranch Water comes in 4 different flavors. Fantastic beers everywhere. All over the grocery stores and the liquor stores, of course, but in bars and restaurants all around San Antonio as well. Wherever you go, you can ask your bartender, please make it a Karbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still working that accident at 151 westbound at Ingram, right lane blocked. 281 southbound at Brook Hollow. This stall is now off to the shoulder, and 410 eastbound at connector I-10. That stall is blocking the ramp. Also, a heads up that TxDOT is still performing critical pavement repair work on 39 to keep the road passable for first responders and residents. 39 FM 1340 still remain closed to the public. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association.
The International Hot Rod Association Outlaw
Nitro Series
is back. 5 events, 4 locations.
1 explosive season.
Top fuel, funny cars, promos. You are in the stands. Get your tickets now at IHRA.com. That's IHRA.com.
The right stuff.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s.
Call Right Home Services.
Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. 210-444.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check for your wallet first, before hitting the drive-thru.
$6. Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial.
What's that?
Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-550-8841. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-550-8841. That's 800-550-8841.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Are you ready for the all-new Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow and Fire? Come watch your favorite Hot Wheels Monster Trucks fly, crash, and smash. Thanks to Good to Grow, kids' ticket prices half off. Coming July 26th and 27th to Frost Bank Center in San Antonio. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Peter says, the Pac-12 may not be the Big Ten, but do you need a Big Ten or SEC to get to the NFL? The ACC had the number 1 pick, and Boise State got a top 10 pick. Well, that's cute and all, but here's the reality of things. Of the first 32 players that went in the draft, 26 of them played in the SEC or the Big Ten.
And I bet the other... After that, everybody else had at one point played in the AC, in the Big Ten or someplace else and transferred away.
I'm going to give you a number that's this tells you, like, and when I say if you're not in the Big Ten or the SEC, you don't matter. Like, I can't tell you how much I really mean that. And there's going to be Arizona State, one of these teams, somebody's going to win the Big 12 every year. Somebody's going to win the ACC every year. It's not going to matter once you get up against these juggernaut programs. There in the NFL draft this year, there were 257 players taken. 257. Write that down. If you're not in your car, if you got a piece of paper, write down 257. There were 150 players drafted from the Big Ten or the SEC. I'm going to do some quick math. That leaves 107 other players that were drafted from the rest of college football. So while, yes, you can make it if you're at one of those other conferences, if you're an NFL type, chances are good you're going to the Big Ten or SEC.
And the irony of this is I do expect that the awards are going to go to players that aren't in the Big Ten or the SEC because it's easier to look really, really good
if you're
on
one
a weekly
good player,
basis.
Oh, yeah.
So I expect guys like Ashton Genty to run for 2,500.
Look how awesome
and
he
it doesn't mean Ashton Genty won't be a great pro. I think he's going to be. I think he will be. And it doesn't mean just because you win a Heisman from Colorado doesn't mean you can't play. It just is a whole lot easier to look really good because you got 3, 4, 5 games on your schedule where you can look really freaking good. So I think we will see Heismans go into schools other than on those conferences and top rushers and number 1 draft picks from other places. But the meat and potatoes, yes, these guys are playing pro football already. That's where they're going to come from.
When it's Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, and Cam Ward all sitting at the Heisman presentation and none of them are playing for a national title, it's because, those other guys are playing week in and week out. They're playing monster schedules against.
And it's no reflection that they're not good enough to play in the Big Ten. They're just eating up some big numbers because they're playing against lesser quality. But that's one of those reasons why there will be teams that jump up every year because there's going to be guys like these transfers who I'm not going to play this year. I'm gone. I'm going to go play someplace. And it does help these peripheral schools have periodic success.
But this is why the SEC and the Big Ten are discussing doing their own thing from everybody else.
Not everybody can leave. SEC still runs 3 deep. I mean, they still run the 3 deep. The other 2 could go play in 90% of the schools out there. They just decided to stay because they're looking at the league and other stuff. But they're always going to be deeper because there's not everybody wants to leave, and there are those that see a growth. But the edges are always going to have stars, but it'll be easier to be a star on the edge.
Yeah. I just it's if you told me there's a champion that's going to come out of a conference other than those 2 in the next maybe ever. Like it's going to be like it's going to be like Halley's Comet. It's going to
Well, it will happen. It will. It will. It'll be a surprise.
But it's going to be like every 20 years there's going to be some team.
It'll happen that they put lightning in a bottle and a team like Tech will bring in the right quarterback and the right running back and the right defensive back and they all stay healthy and a coach that's on the way up and they play an easy schedule and get an easy first-round matchup and they surprise another team and there you go. You got a title.
But I'll tell you what's going to make it harder and harder is when they keep adding in more teams to the playoffs and now you got to win 4 times instead of 3 against teams that are more talented than you. It just becomes less and less likely. Just same as college basketball. Like on the first weekend of college basketball tournament, that's why it's so great, is because you'll see these Cinderella teams get an upset. It's rare that you see them make a run all the way to the Final Four and they never win championships because it's just too hard to beat teams that are better than you 6 times in a row.
And I get to the depth. I mean, while you're 1 deep, and yes, you got 7 NFL players on your roster. You go to play Alabama, A&M. They got 27 NFL players on their roster, and only 7 of them are currently good enough to play right now, and the other 20 are backing up dudes. And that's why teams like Arizona State look good until they run into those. But eventually, there'll be an upset. Eventually, that'll happen. But for the most part, we know that where the great football is played is in those 2 conferences, and everybody else is playing catch-up. Those 2 conferences and Notre Dame. That's it.
Remember the was it like 2015? I think it's probably around 2015, but like at Ohio State when they had Cardale Jones and Braxton Miller and who was the 3rd quarterback? But they had all these quarterbacks, and when one got hurt, it was like, oh, JT Barrett was the other one. It was like, oh, no big deal, next man up. Like who is going to have a Cardale who in the Big 12 is going to have Cardale Jones as their third quarterback?
Well, I think that's gone. I don't think any team will ever be three deep like that. You'll have one other dude.
By the way, Joe Burrow was on that same team in 2015.
That kind of stuff, because now they've opened the portal. They didn't have the portal then, and because of the NIL, that won't ever happen again. Now, you might have a star in waiting, and you might have a guy every now and then like Arch Manning who's willing to wait. But for the most part, if you think you can play and somebody's willing to pay you millions to go someplace, you're crazy if you don't go.
But what I will tell you is there's never going to be those level of players sitting on the bench.
No, that's never going to happen.
At Arizona.
No, that never, ever will happen.
Yeah,
but now,
you'll
even
still
at Ohio
see it
State.
At Ohio State, Alabama, LSU.
I think you're lucky if you have two.
Yeah, right. But I'm telling you, there are guys who won't be on the field this year at LSU who will play in the NFL.
That's what I was saying. When you play against a team like Texas, you got 20 NFL players, but only 7 are currently good enough to even get on the field.
But at Arizona, at Stanford, if you're an NFL type, you're on the field already.
And probably gone after your freshman year.
And if you get hurt, the guy behind you is like he's going to be in sales. Like he's probably a real smart guy, don't get me wrong, but he ain't winning you a national championship.
And the other problem is holding your talent. Good guys that get good for a freshman and they just leave. So you benefit, but they are also coming and taking your good guys too.
Yeah. Peter says, wouldn't adding more times might cause the big teams to trip up? Sure.
Yeah, and there will be.
The difference is like the likelihood. If I've got to play 4 games and I have the most talent and the most depth, I feel a lot better about my chances than being the less talented team with no depth and trying to win 4 games where every time I've got to beat a team that's better than me and deeper than me. The likelihood is just that the percentages are just out of whack.
You can catch lightning in a bottle. I remember, like Cincinnati had the easiest road they'll ever be because there was only 4, and they only had to beat a Michigan team.
And then what happened as soon as they showed up and played against big boys?
But what I'm getting at is they didn't have to win twice. They only had to win 1 game to get to a title game, and then you flip a coin, you hope for the best. Now you're going to have to win 2 games and eventually 3.
And I mean, I even think about when TCU made it all the way to the national title game, and now you're playing against a team that's just got better dudes, and like you haven't seen that all year, and then you lose 65-7 and just get humiliated on national TV.
Every now and again, you get the shock. There's an App State win. You never know, but
for an App State win to happen 4 times in a row, that's where it becomes
just
tough.
So much more difficult.
All right, we got 1 hour to go. We'll see how our thumbs up are doing. I got Queensryche tickets to give away. Morning Huddle 94.1.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
Bobby Bones here with some easy trivia. What does the Staples Easy button say? That was easy. Boom. I mean, that was easy. You knew that, right? And now you know to press it for prints, shipping, and even passport photos. Plus, next day delivery to over 98% of the U.S. I see you, Staples. That was easy.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check for your wallet first before hitting the drive-thru.
$6. Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial.
What's that?
Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in San Antonio without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in San Antonio for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text EARN to 64,000. San Antonio is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in San Antonio and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text EARN to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text EARN to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text EARN to 64,000.
At Natural Bridge Caverns, the passage of time and moving water have carved out a massive underground creation. Hidden Wonders, our newest cave tour. Watch thousands of lights reveal otherworldly sculptures in a massive canyon with a sound and light show finale. Or visit the largest of our 2 caverns with a discovery tour, winding through majestic rooms with incredible formations. Above ground, top off your adventure with a zip along the sky rails on our towering ropes course. Choose your adventure at naturalbridgecaverns.com.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff. Now we can chill, Mom.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still working that accident at 151 westbound at Ingram, right lane blocked. 281 southbound at Brook Hollow. This stall is now off to the shoulder, and 410 eastbound at connector Y10. That stall is blocking the ramp. Also a heads up that TxDOT is still performing critical pavement repair work on 39 to keep the road passable for first responders and residents. 39 FM 1340 still remain closed to the public. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs and General Manager Brian Wright continue to round out the Spurs roster. Last night, a big trade with the Washington Wizards, bringing in big man Kelly Olynyk. The Wizards received Malachi Brenham and Blake Wesley. Also a 2026 second-round pick. The Spurs rounded out the California Summer League with a loss to the Los Angeles Lakers. Losing on a 15-5 run, the Spurs head to Las Vegas. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right. Hot Wheels Monster Truck Live, Glow and Fire, July 26th or 27th at the Frost Bank Center. That's a Saturday or a Sunday. Sunday. Get down to the Frost Bank Center and watch us run stuff over. The Glow and Fire Tour. Monster Truck Rally. We got 2 tickets. Let's go caller number 3. Caller number 3. We're up to 27 likes. Is that what you're seeing in there, Vic?
Yeah, let me see. Let me get an update here.
We requested 30. Yeah. We got there's currently over twice that many watching. So
I know.
It ain't real hard.
27, yeah.
What's it cost people to go over there and push the thumbs up? Nothing? It's free?
You got to pay for internet.
But why wouldn't they do that? If you enjoyed what you were hearing, why wouldn't you just push that thumb? I don't get it. I don't get it. But and like, by the way, it's not like we get paid more if you guys give us likes or something. I don't understand why you can't help your boys out here. All right, we've been. Edwin comes in and asks these crazy questions. Do you think Central Florida can win a championship? No. I'm telling you. If you aren't in the Big Ten or the SEC,
you're not winning anything.
You're not winning anything. And even if you're in the Big Ten or SEC,
well, does Notre Dame count? Where do you put Notre Dame here?
I mean, they've got a. They have a. You know what? I could put they could maybe make if I made my list of 10 that had a chance to win, they might be the one team outside the Big Ten or SEC that had a chance. But even then, they wouldn't be in the top 5 for sure. Like, when's the last time Notre Dame won a title?
It's been a minute.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Why would I think they're going to start now?
Because if they really wanted to win a title, if they're really chasing it, they could, because they're their own entity, they could guarantee 10-0 every year. You know, they can guarantee.
Right.
I mean, you're scheduling
but then
USC.
Then you're Cincinnati showing up at the playoff and getting your bleep pushed in.
But they're still Notre Dame, and they're bringing in talent. I think that they've got as an equal shot as anybody in the Big Ten and SEC. I wouldn't put them as the others. I think that they're always going to be there because they can more than any other school manipulate their schedule to play the right teams at the right time and do the Jake Paul kind of
stat padding.
Kind of grazing the lowest hanging fruit and always kind of be there. And they have had some talent. But even if we stop there.
And it's funny because, they were just in the national title game, yet first of all, I never thought they were going to have a chance in the national title game. But I don't know. I don't know why I don't believe in them. I mean, it's just I don't believe they're I think that what we saw last year was about that. That's about as good as they could ever possibly hope to finish.
I mean,
and they were one game away. But the last time was what, 2012 when they made it to the title game against Alabama, and Alabama beheaded them. It was like a public shaming.
See, that's always what they run into. The schedule is such where they really are not accustomed to the type of team they have to play, but they beat up on the Patsies, and they've got enough talent. I mean, they send as much guys to the NFL as anybody in the country. They're going to send 10 a year. It's a limited number, but I am still going to stay on the fact that there is going to be more often than not, probably every 4 or 5 years, a team that just comes from nowhere for one brief shining moment, has 2 or 3 pieces that make a little run that'll scare some teams, and every now and then they'll beat a team. Every now and then every decade we'll have a random BYU national champion when we look back and go, did they really? Did Tulane just win a national championship?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Because and this might close the door, but until the portal, until we can get control of mass exodus, there's going to be a chance on the peripheral. Until they get a fix on, When the moment guys feel like they're not going to play and they're looking for a bigger check and they can leave, there's going to be a chance. Now, I think because there's that chance, they're going to close this down. I think every coach wants the portal adjusted at the very least. And every time there's an adjustment, that means the rich will stay rich because it'll make it that much more difficult to leave. And that will hurt Texas State. That's going to hurt Louisville. That's going to hurt Miami because they're not going to get the Cam Wards. They're not going to show up because, quite frankly, they can't. They'll be back to where it used to be.
Yeah. Looking at the teams that had the most players drafted last year, Notre Dame was tied for 11th with 6 players drafted. Of the top 10, 9 of them were either in the SEC or the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Miami is the one. They had 7 players drafted. Everybody else in that range, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas, Oregon, Ole Miss, Bama, Florida, LSU, Michigan.
Those numbers are going to stay the same. But I'm going to be curious to see when they do come out after that third year, where did they start and where did they finish? Because I get the sense that of most of the top 10 will probably be at the same school. They're not going to leave. But there'll be those guys that started X and ended Y. Started X, ended Y. And I want to see what the trend is, the teams that are losing those players, that recruited well, got the guy, it just didn't, they left. And how much that affects other schools. And are they fleeing from one conference to another? Are they jumping from the Big Ten to the SEC, or are they going from the SEC and Big Ten to lesser conferences? Those are the numbers that I'm going to be really interested to follow over the next couple of transfer portal cycles to see where these guys are going.
Well, I mean, like Will Howard's a good example of a guy who, if you have moderate success at in the Big 12 or the ACC, chances are good.
There's a place for you in the ACC and Big 12. I mean,
Ohio State calls Will Howard and says, hey, do you want to play another year at Kansas State? Or do you want to make A, do you want us to give a bunch of money? And B, you got a chance to actually win.
Right.
Like, who says no to that?
No one. No one.
I mean, it's going to be very difficult for these kids. And I don't blame Will Howard. I mean, if I had a chance to go from Kansas State to Ohio State and make more money while I was doing it, I'd probably do the same thing. But that's what's going to happen is these guys, if you have any moderate bit of success at a UTSA or Texas State or even Baylor or TCU, somebody's going to knock on the door from Texas or UTSA's best kid 2 years ago went to Texas last year, right?
Yeah.
That's just going to happen.
Yeah. And on the other side of that, the guys that were sitting at Kansas State that suddenly the job's open, and the guy that was sitting in Miami who thought he had a job suddenly goes, well, I'm going to go to Kansas State. I mean, so Kansas State's going to get a transfer. They're going to get a guy that played someplace else, and it'll be a step up from another place. It's that musical chairs that I do think that's what's going to open the door to a random team just because
but it's
the talent
everybody
moves.
Trying to climb the mountain to get to a Big Ten power or an SEC power. That's what everybody's trying to climb.
And then there's the guys
I know that's what gets them to the NFL
that are coming from unheard of. Cam Ward, out of nowhere, just somebody sees him throwing on the sideline, and suddenly he's at Washington State winning all kinds of games. And suddenly Washington State's better because they just found somebody out of nowhere, and they went and pillaged Incarnate Word.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to be able to reload. It'll be the team that's able to reload and keep that'll be the surprise team.
Yeah, I don't see how a team like at that level, like a Texas State, UTSA, Tulane, whoever, like. I mean, I'm not saying they can't never make the playoff because I mean the chances are good. I mean, you got one a year that's going to come from these
and it'll be more than that.
The group of 6 or whatever it's going to be called now, but. For them to win enough games in that tournament, it's just
you got to win too.
Happen.
You know, you got to win too, and lightning strikes sometimes twice. It will happen. I just think it's going to be a minute before it does.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to win more than 2.
Well, 2 playoff games is what I'm getting at.
I mean, if you come from the Mountain West, you're gonna have to win 4 playoff games.
Not this year.
No, I mean, like if you make the playoff, like Notre Dame would have had to win 4 games last year to win the title.
16 teams?
No, 12, but only.
You're talking about the buys? Didn't they adjust that? We've changed the way the buys are working.
Yeah, but now it's even less likely
Well,
for one of these small.
You'd have to win 3.
The small school teams will never get a bye.
Well, depending on their ranking, they could be ranked higher than some of those.
It won't
other
matter
schools.
though. Like if an undefeated James Madison will never get a bye.
No.
So that's the thing. You're always going to be the 12th seed.
But an undefeated ACC team will. You know.
Yeah. But God, even then, like you still have to win 3.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're going to have lesser talent. Because the best talent is it's so concentrated now. And it's not, I mean, yes, the Ohio States and Michigans and Texas and Georgia, they've got the glut of it, but there's about 5 teams in both of those conferences that it's, I mean, I said 100 or 150 players. I bet 100 of them came from about 10 schools. Like, you know what I mean? It's just the teams that have the most of and the fact that those teams, that Ohio State and Texas lost all those players, you think they're not going to be back at the top of the list of NFL guys next year? Of course they are.
That's the 27 pros and 7 can start, and 20
exactly.
They're still coming, and that's at the end of the day they're going to always be the difference.
Yeah, it's too much to overcome. I think.
But
for these
in
teams.
college, though, a hot quarterback in a unique system. Those are that's where the upsets are going to come from. There'll be a coach that has a plan that nobody's seen before and a player that matches it. Well, there will always be a team every year that makes a little run. Last year was Arizona State. Now, nobody thought they were going to win it all. Nobody thought that Cam Ward was going to carry a team to a title, but man, they certainly scared a lot of teams, you know, and eventually one of those teams is going to break through.
Yeah, eventually. Jose says, K-State, you have a good shot of making to the NFL. They got, you know what? They put 3 players in the draft, but let's be serious. At Kansas State, do you have a better chance of making the NFL at a Kansas State or Ohio State? It's not even are you going to make more money at Kansas State or Ohio State? Also not close. Do you have a better chance of winning a national title in college at Kansas State or Ohio State? It's not even close. So the 3 things that these kids care about, which are money, getting to the NFL, and having a chance to win in college.
I think
you've got a better chance at all of those by leaving the smaller schools.
It's funny that it used to be the 5 and 4 stars. It was about get me to the league.
Yeah,
and now it's not.
Now it's get me to the league and get me paid.
Get me paid and then get me to the league, which makes it even more difficult.
Yeah.
For the small schools to compete.
And also, I mean, but at the end of the day, and really, if you can win a national title, like if you're a program that's got a chance to win, that's like a bonus. But if you're you're a purist and you're like, I really want to compete for a national title, you're not staying at Boston College or Kansas. You're going to someplace where
if you get the ask,
yeah, like would I like to? Nobody's staying there who's asked.
Well, we've talked about it in the breaks, and it's a kind of a testament to where we are. When you have the head coach at Iowa State, Matt Campbell, talking about his best players had to take a pay cut to stay.
Yeah.
And he's bragging about that we've got such a team put together that they're willing to sacrifice money. Well, you don't get that very often. That's a rare thing, and I appreciate that you're bragging on it, but the fact is it's showing the very essence of the problem. That for you to be even remotely competitive, guys on your team had to take a pay cut.
Right.
So, yeah, I appreciate that you're bragging and you've done it, and, yes, you should be proud of it. But in the grand scheme of things, that's the worst thing that recruits want to hear. That if I'm going to be good and I want to win and I want to stay at this school because I love Coach Campbell, I'm going to have to take a pay cut?
Yeah.
It's just that in a synopsis kind of wraps things up. Because Iowa State was one of those schools for the last 10 years you felt like, they could, they got a good coach and they get the right kind of thing in place and things fall right. They win their division or their conference and suddenly they're playing in a title game and, it could happen. No, it's not going to happen. It could have maybe 10 years ago. Now those guys are gone because they're going to have to take a pay cut to stay.
And you're way more of a glass half full guy than I am. I would have told you 10 years ago, Iowa State's never going to win.
But they had the opportunity to compete against Texas.
You know
what I mean?
Right, but it's
those guys couldn't leave. They weren't going to leave, but where were they going to go?
Yeah.
Now they get a little bit of success. They'll go play for Texas, not just compete against them. So it's gotten even more difficult for guys like Campbell, who are coaches who are capable of coaching a national championship team, but will never have the talent to go win it.
And Peter says, depends, will you get more play time in Ohio State or Kansas State? Well, here's the thing. Well, for a quarterback, for Will Howard, he knew like they wouldn't have paid him the money they were paying him if he wasn't going to be the guy there. But also, now you get to play with 3 NFL offensive linemen. You have 2 2 guys who went in the top 2 rounds at running back standing behind you. You've got NFL wide receivers. Like
the thing is,
the choice is so easy.
You used to go to Alabama or Texas, name the top whatever school, and you at the highest echelon. Alabama's the perfect example, knowing full well I'll play in the NFL, but I probably won't even start till I'm a senior. Yeah. You know, I won't even. I'll play. I'll get plenty of reps. But as far as the list of starters, even though I'm probably going to be a first or a second round draft pick, I might not even start till I'm a senior. They were willing to do that knowing full well, but by the time they got there, they were going to be NFL ready. Now, those are the kind of guys that are going to be the most difficult to hang on to, that will probably be great players given some seasoning, but they're not ready now. Those are the ones that are going to leave. Those are the ones that in this day and age aren't going to hang around and eventually start, even though they know if I wait, I'm still going to make some money and I'll definitely be an NFL guy. Those guys are going to go someplace else, be an NFL guy, and start earlier. And used to, Alabama could hold on to him. So there is going to be some balance. There is going to be some help. But the thing is, those guys leave, and there's another guy just as good as him goes and steps in that hole. And that's the difference between Alabama and Oklahoma State.
You remember when USC had like Brian Cushing and Lofa Tatupu and what was it? It was Ray Malaluga. They had all these, and it was like there were guys like Keith Rivers who ended up playing in the NFL who didn't get on the field for them.
Right.
And it's just that's how it was.
And you would stay knowing I'm NFL ready. I know I'm that good. I just not good, better than that guy. None of those guys leave.
Clay Matthews was the guy who couldn't even get on the field with those guys. And Clay Matthews probably ended up being a better pro than all of them, but couldn't get on the field because they had so much talent there.
And they couldn't leave. They were stuck.
Right. But that's the difference between the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah. You know, they're willing to wait around knowing full well I'm gonna get paid eventually. I'm an NFL
making
guy.
It to the league. Yeah. And all right. Monsters of Rock. Who is it? We got Van Halen, Van Halen, Dio, and Judas Priest tribute bands. July 19th at the Aztec Theater. 2 tickets. Let's go caller number 5 to the Monsters of Rock tour. And if you don't win them, of course, you can buy them at livenation.com. Caller number 5, 2 tickets right now. We'll do Queensryche tickets. Looks like we're going to get them on the Brigade Bar. Yeah. Looks like we got enough likes. You guys actually cared enough today. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for caring. All right, we'll be right back. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
How you feeling this morning? You in pain? If there's something keeping you out of life, stop. Get it fixed. So many of us live with those little things that grow slowly into bigger things to the point where you just don't even go out and do the things you need to do. If that's your life, there's a fix out there. It's called Arasti. Arasti providers, they're all around San Antonio. They're highly trained medical professionals. You become an Arasti provider after already being a medical professional in a field like a physical therapist or a chiropractor or a general practitioner. Those kind of people, those kind of medical professionals seek to upgrade their training and abilities with Arasti. And what Arasti does is put them on a track to fix pain in a way that they weren't trained to do initially. See, Arasti is kind of different. It has nothing to do with medications to kind of hide or dull the pain. It has nothing to do with surgery to prolong the rehab process. This is your body fixing itself. And there are certain things that can be fixed no better way than with Arasti. If you're dealing with a soft tissue injury, a sprain or a strain, lower back issues, if you're dealing with those tension headaches or plantar fasciitis, all of those things and many more can be treated by Arasti and fast. When you walk into an Arasti provider, you're going to get a full evaluation. They're going to find out what the problem is and fix the problem. And amazingly enough, the pain goes away more often than not then. On average, under 4 visits gets Arasti patients back in the game. I want that for you. What do you need to know? The number, you can call them right now. It's 1-800-404-6050. The website is Arasti.com. There's a map on that website of all the providers. They're adding new ones every day. I bet there's one less than 10 minutes from where you are right now. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. The fix is out there. It's called Arasti. Call them now. They're going to take care of you. And when they do, come on by and you can thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a couple of stalls. I-10 eastbound Vance Jackson and Loop 410 northbound at North WWI. Both of those are to the right shoulder. Now, up in the Hill Country, TxDOT still focused on pavement repairs on 39 to keep roads passable for first responders and also local residents. So 39 and FM 1340 still remain closed to the public. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association.
The International Hot Rod Association Outlaw Nitro Series is back. 5 events, 4 locations. 1 explosive season. Top fuel, funny cars, promos. You are in the stands. Get your tickets now at IHRA.com. It's IHRA.com.
George gets justice. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, we don't just represent crash victims. We fight for them. When an accident impacts your life, my team and I are committed to obtaining the justice you deserve. We approach every case with dedication because each one is personal to us. Our promise, no payment unless we win. Call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Joel, I'm proud to introduce my latest in-summer relaxation relief-cation. I call it the Quarter Moon Grill and Go. It's a stainless steel propane gas grill with this, a full-size urinal. If you're gonna grill and you gotta go, it's the Grill and Go.
Folks at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, we fix plumbing and AC issues fast and at a fair price. 210-651-5899.
Grill and
Go away, Nigel. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC.
License number TACLA 141-074-EM16004. Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
We got Queensryche Volume and Vengeance tickets. Live. You're looking live December 13th. The Aztec Theater. I got a pair of tickets to go see Queensryche. Oh. Queensryche, remember, they fired their original singer. I want to say his name was Jeff Tate.
I don't remember.
They got I guess his wife was the manager, and they fired her, and then he had like a big blow up backstage, and they fired him, and then they had a big
sounds like Spinal Tap.
They had a big to do over who was going to be able to be Queensryche, and the band won, and now Jeff Tate just has to be Jeff Tate, and that's why he does his own show, which we gave away tickets to a little while back.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to go see Queensryche, I said I'm going to give them away on the Brigade Bar. What should we do? Oh, I've got an idea. We'll find someone who's been listening the whole show. How about that? If you can, I told you when I was in the Army. Why am I hearing myself like on delay in the background? What are you doing, Vic?
Nothing.
You on drugs?
Yeah.
Let's do this. I said when I was in the Army, there was a guy who got a full back tattoo that he probably regrets now. If you can remember, if you're the first person in the chat who remembers, go ahead and throw it up there, and you win the tickets to Queensryche, the Volume and Vengeance Tour, live December 13th at the Aztec. Just like that. Jose says, yeah, Chet gets $250 million, fully guaranteed. Well, it's the NBA. Everything's fully guaranteed. But
he got more than Blanchero.
Yeah. Well,
I think he did him a favor. If I was Chet's financial guys, if I was counseling him at all, why now? Why? You're just becoming. You could become something that is worth far more than just 50. Paolo Blanchero is a far better basketball player and far more important to the Orlando Magic. And you're getting more than him. Just think about what you're capable of getting. I'd have waited a year. I think he's done them a favor.
Well,
Jokic is going to wait.
In 3 years, he's played 82 games. 32 games.
No, that's the balance there.
And
the injury.
0 games.
The injury is the concern, and you take the money and run. But, man, if I'm his agent, I'm buying a big old fat, however much it costs me to some sort of insurance policy on them knees and ankles, and I'm holding out. I think he gave Oklahoma City probably $35 to $40 million over the next couple of years to pay for somebody else.
I agree. Benny Barrera, you're our winner, by the way. Call in to Vic and let him know you won the
656-3776.
Yeah. I agree. He could have gotten more, but like we've talked about, I think these guys want to keep playing together.
I think there's a lot of that, and he did them a favor. I mean, that was a gift that he did for them.
My guess is when the time comes, when's Shea get paid? When's he due to like
kicks in another 2 years, I think.
Okay, but it's not. I mean, Shea didn't take the kind of money that.
No, but he didn't have those expectations after 2 years coming out like Chet does. I mean, Shea was a very good player for about 3 years, but really was not thought of as an MVP until about 2.5, 3 years ago when we thought, wait a minute, this guy's getting better every freaking year. Chet was overall, he was front and center from the get-go, and he signs 50 is a ridiculous number. I'm not saying that what he's getting isn't crazy, but we're looking at contracts that are going to be signed over the next couple of years that are going to reach $80, $85 million, and maybe even more. Joker is holding out. I'm not signing nothing for a year, but he's in a very different situation.
Well, yeah, I think Holmgren understands he's not Batman. Holmgren, if Holmgren were on the Charlotte Hornets, he wouldn't be getting this money right now.
Well, I don't know, but he would be getting. If he'd have played just like he had played before, Charlotte would have offered him more.
Probably, but
so,
we wouldn't know what
he's helping.
What would his value be? Because Charlotte still wouldn't be in the playoffs.
No, I mean, and he's giving him a friendly deal, and there is the injury issue. I mean, they're on the hook for this as well. But if you go Paolo Banchero, who is by far their best player and probably closer to being all the All-NBA kind of stuff than Chet, is going to get less? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we talked about it, and I fully believe Shea, Chet, and Jalen Williams all right now want to be together. Eventually, I think Jalen Williams is going to be the one who heads out on his own, and I think he's going to get out on his own and realize, damn, I should have stuck with those guys. But if you want to do that, Shea's not going to be the one to take – Shea's going to make $70 million a year.
We're going to have an $85 million deal signed this year, I think.
But the peripheral guys, if you're secure enough to understand your role and to say, I am Chet Holmgren, and I really believe he understands, if I'm the third best player on the Thunder, we're going to win a whole bunch of stuff. If I'm the best player on the Hornets, we ain't making the playoffs.
Yeah.
And there is something to be said for guys who are willing to, and it's so funny because, like, to hear you say he could have gotten a whole lot more money.
He could have.
It's so different from when I was a kid where people would complain, all they care about is money. Nobody cares about winning. And now it's like, God, the guy could have got way more money.
Even from Oklahoma City, I think he could have. They'd have had to.
But I think because Oklahoma City, because these players understand what it takes to win, they're all kind of on board with this. This is why I tell you this is a special group, man.
The problem, it could go south fast. You're all locked in together. I mean, you're all on the same boat. We'll see. I mean, over the last couple of days.
Is there any boat you'd rather be on?
No, but there's a lot of teams that are. I mean, you're about to go through the gauntlet, the likes of which you've never seen. You're now the target, and there are teams that are doing everything that they possibly can to beat you.
Yep.
And that now they're going and getting players just to beat you. And that's not just one team, that's 10 teams. And you're going to have to face that every night. And we saw what happened to Denver. We saw it happen to Boston. It just beats you down.
And you know what the Thunder are thinking?
So hard to come back.
The Thunder are thinking,
we're different.
We had Chet for 32 games last year. We've got a point guard who's going to be on our team this year that looks like he might be the real deal.
Yeah. And yes, they have every reason to expect. But they're not the shoe-in that they were even right after they won the title. I mean, you look at what Houston has done. My God, they continue to improve. The West is going to be tougher. They better be the favorite. But I appreciate that they're all in it together, but they're also kind of chained together now too.
Agreed. But again, if you're the team who won the West by 16 games,
you should feel pretty good.
Even if Houston did get better, and they did.
Well, here's the terrifying thing. Houston got better. Everybody got better. Oklahoma City now has a point guard.
Yeah, they're probably better too.
They're better. Wait till you watch the Summer League. If you haven't seen Topic play, it's frightening, man. This guy's going to start for him next year.
Dude,
put it in the books, man. If he's not the Rookie of the Year, he'll be in the top 3 votes. He's going to have every opportunity to be just absolutely special with no pressure.
You mentioned that Jokic is waiting around, and Jokic is the best player in the world. He's got he should be able to get whatever that he asks for. He should get a chunk of the franchise if that's what he wants. But also, like, Denver's in a spot where there's not a lot of ways for them to get better. I think that
they've made a couple of deals. They're going to have to ride with it.
I think their number 2 guy is not a number 2 guy, and
you talking about Jamal?
Yeah, I just don't think he's as good as people thought he was when they gave him that money. I think and listen, they won a title with him, but I think you paid for what he did instead of paying for what he's capable of doing going forward.
We haven't seen him healthy again. I think fully healthy, he's fully capable. But I don't know if he'll ever be fully healthy again.
It's been 3-4 years now.
That's what I'm saying.
When you gonna be healthy,
knee
bro?
after an issue, yeah. But he's still capable.
I just don't know. I don't know, and they don't. I just don't know if they have room to get way better. Oklahoma City still feels like they haven't even peaked.
Well, yeah, I appreciate your optimism, but I over the years I've seen a lot of teams feel just like this, and it's just this unrelenting kind of thing that you sit here and suddenly Denver felt the same way. Not nearly as much. They didn't have all of the pieces, but they did have the best player in the world and 3 dudes that looked like they were going to be able to carry him for a while, and they can't. They couldn't. Milwaukee, no one ever thought they were long-term. They just knew they had the best player in the world at that time or be able to carry through. But it's just going to be, as we see, all these teams that are getting better are going to take some wins. They're not good enough to beat Oklahoma City in the finals, but they're going to take some wins and they're going to cause some abrasions and they're going to cause some strain that they didn't have to go through before. And those little things add up.
What typically causes those teams that you thought had it before? What typically causes
First
them to go away?
First, it's injuries, and then it's money.
Yeah,
First, it's injuries, and then somebody steps in the void, and then they're like, "Hey, man, I was as good as you are, and now you're back, and why am I sitting?" So I don't see that happening with this team, not yet.
It
but
just feels so unique, man.
And we watched it happen in San Antonio, and it never did. It never happened. Nobody ever got upset with money or playing time because titles were enough.
And it is a rare thing, and that's why I compare them. I really do think it's a very similar thing that's being built there.
Well, because Shea reminds me so much of Tim, that he is such a selfless guy that even though he's going to get all the money, he will always be the first to renegotiate. He'll always be the first to put the guys in front that deserve a little bit of limelight on that night, even though he knows I'm the reason we won tonight. I mean, it's me, but tonight Dort won, so hey, interview him. I mean, there's this kinship. They're kids, but
and
kids
just
grow
finding
up.
Guys too, like Jalen Williams. You draft him out of Santa Clara, and suddenly he's an All NBA type. Like it's just,
I know
it's very Spurs.
I hate to throw the wet blanket. I just feel like it's almost too good to be true. It just feels like, my gosh, if this all works out, which it better, because everybody's doing the right things. Everybody's doing and saying exactly what you need to do this. So it's frightening in its precision. We just wonder if it all clicks together, because if it does, you're right. This is going to be a 4-year run, the likes of which no matter what you do, you can't keep up.
And Corey says Chet signed the rookie max extension. That's the most he could get right now.
But
he didn't have to sign it right now.
Yeah,
That's
he could have waited.
And he says Topic is not going to start next year. Whose spot would he even take? I think he's going to take Lou Dort's.
He's going to start for Dort.
Spot.
I'm telling you, go watch this kid. Go watch him. He's a year older from a guy that was their first pick and choice then. He is as smooth as silk, and he looks like he's been playing. It's not like he's got the jitters like I'm watching Carter Bryant and these other college kids. This guy's been there.
This whole team, it's just absurd, man. It really is. All right, let's take our last break of the day. We'll come back. We'll wrap this baby up the way we always do by taking a look at the daily lines. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dr. Jacob Torres is my physician. I didn't meet him that way. I met him with a weight loss question, a weight loss issue. See, the Institute for Functional Health, the function is the key to this. Dr. Torres does everything possible to make sure that while you're healthy, you got to be feeling pretty good about being healthy at the same time, or what's the point? And the first and key important part to his health plan is you got to drop the weight. The weight is the barrier to so much in your life, because if you're carrying too much weight, you're snoring all night long, you're not getting the proper amount of rest, you're chasing caffeine and eating too much sugar just to keep your day going, and then you start putting on those pounds, and it just is a circle that you cannot break. If you want to start feeling healthy, if you want to start feeling better, the first and most important thing you can do is lose weight. Dr. Torres is a master at getting folks just like you, just like me, who never thought they could or never really had any kind of success. Well, it offers them a possibility to success, and I am living proof. I still go see my weight loss doctor 8 years after seeing him. I never gave up. I've consistently lost, and I feel better today than I did yesterday. I want that for you. Call him today and let him explain to you why he's been so successful with people like me. It's because he puts together a program you can live with for a long time. 468-1891, that's the number. Call them today. Go to the website, see what they've got for you. Let me tell you, there's no better place to start, no healthier place in the world than the Institute for Functional Health. Go there, talk to them today, change your life. You'll feel better for it. Then you can come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the second annual Back to School Drive, Saturday, August 2nd from 11 till 1 p.m. or while supplies last at the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-aged children while supplies last, so don't be late. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Sponsored in part by North Park Toyota, Central Med, Romo Doors, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms supply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in San Antonio without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in San Antonio for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text EARN to 64,000. San Antonio is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in San Antonio and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text EARN to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text EARN to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text EARN to 64,000.
Fight back against low energy with TRT at Synergenics and Low T Center. TRT has never been easier with the new Synergenics Health app. Take the test, get the results, and control your treatment from your phone. Book now while the test is free at FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at HIMS.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to HIMS.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Are you ready for the all-new Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glowing Fire? Come watch your favorite Hot Wheels Monster Trucks fly, crash, and smash. Thanks to Good to Grow, kids' ticket prices half off. Coming July 26th and 27th to Frost Bank Center in San Antonio. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
At least he knows there's baby oil outside when he gets there.
You're going to have a freak off right there in the street?
Dude, he's been locked up. I would imagine he's been deprived of all the baby oil.
Diddy's obviously a very rich man.
Mm-hmm.
And he could probably get whatever he wanted. You grease one of those guards and no pun intended.
Oh, pun was definitely intended.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Drop a load on him, Vic.
We were talking contracts. I read someplace, but by the time that Cooper Flagg will be available for his first extension, if he does play appropriately and get the recognition, whether it's Rookie of the Year or whatever it might be, he will be available probably to sign the first $100 million deal.
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Well, y'all, good luck with that. Hey, Tarek says Topic is literally Ginobili.
That would be – I think Topic is really, really good. I'm not going to give him that yet, but the dude is NBA ready.
Yeah.
There's no wait time for him.
Jose says nobody's Ginobili. Ginobili was one of one.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that to Topic, but he can play.
A lot of pressure there.
Yeah. But there was a lot of dudes saying this dude was.
Watch him play. He plays with a pace that a kid his age shouldn't be able to play with. The game reflects him. He doesn't reflect the game. He controls the pace of the game, both offensively and defensively. for a kid to be able to do that. I know it's with some other kids, but that's a very difficult thing to do.
I have seen I've seen a lot of Goran Dragic, and I'm sure some of it has to do where he's from.
He does feel lefty. It feels like him.
But I've also seen people say Luka, which
smooth. He's got the Luka mentality. The game reflects his pace. He does not reflect the game's pace. He affects it. It's interesting to watch him do that, and he plays very tall. He keeps his eye above the fray. Man, I couldn't have been more impressed. It's scary.
Corey says the Spurs traded Derek White for Romeo Langford, Josh Richardson, and Kelly Olynyk.
Yep.
And then he does this.
Yeah, that was more of a free Derek White than it was for anything else.
Yeah, that is what it is. All right, let's wrap up the show the way we always do, friends, by taking a look at the Daily Lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the Daily Lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered,
Oh, yes, friends. Ah, yes, Iga Swiatek. She made it through. And she's now in the Final Four of Lady Tennis. She is 2-1 still to win the whole thing. Arina Sabalenka, still your favorite, minus 125. Amanda Anisimova, 7-1. And Belinda Bencic.
How did our boy
11-1.
Did Fritz make it through?
I don't believe he did. No, he did. But he plays Carlos Alcaraz today.
Oh, then he's
or no, tomorrow morning, early in the morning, Friday.
Well, don't go with my axiom then. Normally it's if he's got a headband, he'll win. I don't think he'll beat Alcaraz.
Shelton is playing right now against Yannick Sinner. I was getting them confused. But yeah, they're in the first set. The current favorite to win the men's grouping is still Alcaraz minus 150, Sinner plus 330, Djokovic plus 570. Fritz is next, 18-1. So is Shelton, and then Flavio Cobolli is 100-1. So Flavio. Hey, Flavio. You got a chance? No, Bubba. No, he doesn't. Lady basketball day, Golden State, the Valkyries head to Indiana where they got a fever. And the Fever are 7-point favorites today. I don't know if Caitlin Clark's going to play or not.
I think so.
But they are still 7-point favorites. Minnesota Lynx also 7-point favorites, albeit they're on the road in Phoenix.
I have Caitlin expected to play with.
Oh, do you now?
I have her on the DFSs anyway.
Oh my! Oh my! I don't know, man. I'd play the under on her DFS stuff then.
So 8 assists. You like more or less of 8?
I like less. I imagine if she's coming back, she's gonna have like a load restriction, right?
I would think.
So and people are probably just aching to bet her overs. So my mindset is just, if that's what everybody else wants to bet, I want to do the opposite. So, but you know, I've been wrong before, like last night with the stupid Astros. And finally, the Dallas Wings in Chicago taking on the Sky. The Sky 1-point favorites over the lowly Dallas Wings. I don't know. I feel like you can do Angel Reese rebounds over. I feel like that one's pretty safe. Everything else, not so sure. In Major League Baseball today, the Dodgers getting back Tyler Glasnow. He will start today for the first time, I think, since the first game of the season. I think he started opening day and then has not pitched since. He's a minus 165 favorite on the road in Milwaukee. The Brewers send Jose Quintana to the mound. So we'll see how that ends up working out. That's a guy who I'd take a look at whatever his props are and probably bet on the unders as well. Just because feels hard to imagine he's going to have much of a workload today. So elsewhere, Eric Lauer and the Blue Jays head to Chicago. Adrian Hauser going for the White Sox. Blue Jays minus 163. In that one, the Philadelphia Phillies, Jesus Luzardo goes to San Francisco. The Giants pitching Justin Verlander. Phillies minus 135 on the road. Zach Littell and the Rays take on Detroit. Reese Olson going for the Tigers. Tigers minus 150. David Peterson going for the New York Mets. They are minus 160 road favorites in Baltimore. Tomoyuki Sugano going for Baltimore. Logan Evans going for the Mariners. Cam Schlittler? That's a made-up person pitching for the Yankees today.
You better smile when you say that.
A made-up person is pitching for the Yankees today. Cam Schlittler. Yeah. Good luck with that. The Yankees, though, minus 165 favorites. Antonio Cinzatella going for the Colorado Rockies. They take on Lucas Giolito and the Red Sox. Red Sox minus 330. They're playing good ball right now, too, are the Red Sox. So maybe not a big surprise there that they are in that mix is such a big favor. The Marlins, Sandy Alcantara going for the Fish. They're in Cincinnati taking on the Reds. Andrew Abbott minus 145 are the Reds. Bailey Falter and the Pirates are at Kansas City. Chris Bubich going for the Royals. The Royals are a minus 195 favorite in that one. Cade Horton and the Cubs are at Minnesota. David Festa going for the Twins. That one's a straight-up pick-em, baby.
It's a party, baby.
That's right. Mackenzie Gore going for the Nationals today, so they at least have a fighting chance. They're only plus 110 underdogs in St. Louis. Andre Payante going for the Cardinals. Cardinals minus 130. When Mackenzie Gore doesn't pitch, they've got no chance. But when he pitches, they're at least competitive. Slade Ciccone, made-up person. He's actually not made up. He's pitched all year, but he's going for the Guardians. They're in Houston trying to get a sweep of the Astros. Astros send made-up person Brandon Walter to the mound. He's a minus 155 favorite is Houston. Kumar Rocker going for the Angels. Minus 115 favorites in L.A. taking on the Angels. Kyle Hendricks going for the Angels. Brandon Pfaadt goes for the Diamondbacks. Dylan Cease for the Padres. Padres minus 150. Bryce Elder and the Braves in Sacramento taking on the Athletics. Mitch Spence goes for the A's. And that one is a straight pick'em as well. There you go, friends. That is your look at the daily lines. Oh, I guess we got some Summer League action tonight.
We got Cooper Flagg.
Imagine betting on the Summer League. You're a wild man if you're betting on the Summer League.
The DFS has Cooper coming in right in the mid-20s.
Okay.
Getting some scoring. I'd go less than that.
Spurs tomorrow, they are 4.5-point dogs against Philly.
Okay.
Who knows?
Okay. I saw Philly play. They've got some kids. It's not about winning and losing for sure.
Don't bet Summer League. Just don't do it, friends. This is your old pal AJ telling you don't bet Summer League. No one cares. If they don't care, you shouldn't care.
You think those things are money grabs, and the Summer League's going to have a lot of tickets, so people hanging out. That California League no one was even in the building. It was a very strange watch.
Odd thing.
I don't like that.
All right, friends. Tomorrow is going to be our last show of the week.
I'm already gone.
I would say Jason and Joe coming up at 2.
We just got one of those
But
Jays.
Joe's in Mexico. And I don't know if they're going to let him back in the country.
They're not sending their best.
Mexican ICE got him. They're like, what are you doing here?
Mexican ICE.
We'll see you tomorrow.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat